All right. Welcome, everybody, to another BDA Boxing Podcast. Broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend, Mr.BDA. Glad that you guys could be on board for this one. Pretty chilly out there. Cold, fucking winter night here. So I would suggest for everybody, get a nice hot cup of cocoa, some marshmallows, some s'mores, green tea, whatever you got. Get cozy, stay cozy, and let's talk a little boxing. We have entered the holiday season, and it's the time of giving. And what we are going to give tonight, some entertainment, and maybe a little bit of boxing in between. A couple of info regarding Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Or I should say Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, because let's be just here, it is Deontay Wilder who's the champ. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. So far we have Nismatic and Violence News Network. He says BDA has returned. That's right. I never left. I mean, I'm just... Butch is the one that's been picking up a lot of the slack regarding the podcast, the live podcast. But of course, BDA is... the Boxing Debate Arena is half Mr.BDA, half King Bucho. I'm going to tell you something. Every time fucking King Bucho takes over, I'm usually more restrained. He likes to stir things up, let people say whatever the fuck they want, which isn't the spirit of the Boxing Debate Arena. But you tend to... King Bucho's podcasts tend to get a little crazier. Let's just put it that way. Now, here's the thing. I want to talk a little bit about Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Haven't really given my thoughts on this. Although, if you check out BDA Live, or secondary channel, we did post a video. I posted one about Wilder's weaknesses and his strong points and what he needs to do in order to beat Tyson Fury. Bucho posted one where you see Wilder's weaknesses against Artur Szpilka. And of course, today we're going to be dropping another video about Tyson Fury, what he has to do in order to win. We'll look at some of his strengths and we'll look at some of his weaknesses as well. Because let's face it, guys, I know a lot of you are Tyson Fury fans, but he's got his weaknesses himself. And this ain't gonna be no cakewalk for either guy. The Fox Strike says, "Up BDA." Nesmatic says, "Let's cover Broner Pacquiao. Broner is entertaining." Not in the ring, though, he says. Well, we'll talk about that. FL88 says, "Nice to see you hosting BDA." Absolutely. It's always nice when Mr. BDA is hosting the show.
Bullshit.
Hey, now wait a minute. Who said that? Listen, real quick. I know some of you guys might be tired of talking about Fury Wilder. The thing is, I haven't talked about it all that much, and I'm starting to get the bug. I'm starting to get pumped up for this fight. I don't think it's going to be a entertaining fight in terms of activity. I don't think there's going to be that many punches thrown. In fact, if you look at Wilder versus Ortiz, it was actually a pretty boring fight, coupled in with a couple of instances where Ortiz was hurt and where Wilder was hurt. And that's what made it interesting. That's what made it entertaining. But for the most part, it was Ortiz, old man Ortiz, just landing his jab over and over. And what the hell? All right. And just Ortiz landing jabs and Wilder every once in a while landing his right hand. Arjun Ganapathy, gonna go ahead and assume he's from India, says, "I love both guys. Us fans are the winners in this fight. I am picking Tyson to win, even though I'm a big Wilder fan. I think Fury is gonna pull this off. Best of luck to both of them." The Fox Strike says, "Violence News Network, what happened?" Because what happened? Violence News Network said, "Boxing Debate Arena is a place where we accept all walks of life and we can agree to disagree. This is not a place for beef." Well, wait a minute. I like beef, both in the literal and anecdotal. I mean, not anecdotal, in the other sense. You know, I mean, people fighting. Why not? That's what the Boxing Debate Arena is. Listen, if you got something to say, you say it here. But then if it turns redundant, or if you're insane, as some people we've had on this show, then your ass is out. Joe Lopez, 40 ounces, it's true. Wilder vs. Fury ticket sales are doing bad. Oh, is it true? He's asking. I don't know. I heard that they had to release tickets, but I don't know what that means. I just read the headline. Actually, you know what? That's a good starter point to this show. How are the sales doing? I'm pretty sure Steve Kim has something to say about that. Hold on a second. Okay, so they're gonna be showing this fight pay-per-view through an application, according to World Boxing News. That's good. Listen, it's about time that these people started picking up. Showtime's doing a pay-per-view now with the Zone. The pay-per-view model might be out. I never thought I would see this in my lifetime, but big fights, big boxing fights without pay-per-view, I never thought I'd see that. But the Zone is looking to make that happen right now. Showtime and ESPN probably, because Bob Arum has been barking about how he wants to make. What was the fight he wants to make pay-per-view? Crawford versus. No, I forget. There was some fight he wants to make it on pay-per-view. The pay-per-view model is old. Let's get rid of it. But at least Showtime, apparently, they might be showing this fight through an application. So that's good. Okay, so according to Fight Nights, it's a website. It says Wilder Fury sales much better than expected. More tickets released for sale to the public. That's the other thing I like about this fight, is that it's taking place at the Staples Center, not at a casino in Las Vegas or some fucking other place, or Saudi Arabia. I mean, come on. Why don't you make it in the West Bank while you're at it? Bunch of explosions everywhere, radical Muslims. Nah, make it somewhere where people, normal everyday people, can see it. Because I'm getting tired of this bullshit of casinos hosting fights, and all you see are a bunch of high rollers and celebrities, and they don't scream. They just sit there thinking about all the money they invested or they gambled, and if they lose that money, it's no coke for the weekend. I mean, it's ridiculous. But when you have a fight taking place in Los Angeles, Houston, Texas, New York, the Barclays Center, I mean, look at the Wilder versus Ortiz fight. The crowd was very entertained. They were vocal. Or make it in England, in one of those big stadiums. That's where you get everyday people. Because you know me, Mr.BDA, I'm a man of the people. Every time I'm in the bus or the metro, subway, as you Americans call it, people come up to me and they go, Mr.BDA, how are you? And then, of course, they ask me, they consult me about their family issues. Like my daughter was beaten by her boyfriend. What can you do about it? And I go, I'll see what I can do about that. But I'm a man of the people, and I love it when boxing fights take place in venues where people like you and I can go see those fights. Also, I want to let's see what people are saying in the chat room. I think they release more tickets to high demand, says Arjun. That's right. That's according to the article here. They should have done Wilder versus Fury in England. It would have done 50,000 plus, it says MB. Yeah, it's true. But, I mean, obviously, I don't think Wilder or Al Heyman felt that would have been to their advantage, which is their right. Listen, it's a fighting game. If you want to have every advantage possible, that's your right to fight for it. Jade Louise Tidman says Ortiz is that old. His friends were words. I think he predates words. I mean, I don't know. The Fight Scout says boxing is trying to cut out the promoters. Reverse Lee, shout out to Reverse. It's been a while since I haven't talked to him. He says Muhammad is betting on Wilder. Now, why would Muhammad do that? The Fight Scout says pay-per-view is where the promoter makes their extra money. Heinessy Smoking Fish Team says, now you're starting to make sense. What do you mean starting? That made sense at the beginning. You make sure you tell your friends about that. Arjun says, here in India, we get most big fights, which are on Sky for free. Well, aren't you something? Gloating about how pay-per-views are free over there. Do you go up to people in wheelchairs and do a little jig in front of them too while you're at it? Yeah, fucking. Shepherd of Sun says, you're a Templar. Who's a Templar? Parmley says, it wouldn't have done 50K at all. It would have done 20,000 max. I don't know. Fury's a pretty big name in England. And you combine that with Wilder, I think what I would have done. All right, let's split the difference. Let's say 40,000. MB says, you think? You would have sold well, I think. Oh, you think? He says that would have sold well. Parmley says Fury doesn't fill stadiums either. PJB says Luis Ortiz is 139 years old. People are intrigued to see Wilder, the guy Joshua is meant to fight. Stuart Little, shout out to Stu. We'll have him on the show in a couple of minutes here, but I just want to plow through a bunch of things here. He says, Low Place went snitching to boxing beats and rhymes about what we said about him. Video is coming soon. Yeah, I was listening to the video from, what was it, 2 days ago? And you guys were talking about boxing beats and rhymes. I got no problem with boxing beats and rhymes, even though I heard through the grapevine that he has a problem with us. And now he must have a problem after what you guys were fucking saying. You guys were saying he was a racist. Again, I don't know much about the guy, boxing beats and rhymes, so I got nothing against him. But yeah, wait a minute. That's the thing. Lopez has been to prison, right? So he knows that snitches get, what's the one that in the streets or in prison, whatever, they have a saying, snitches get stitch. No, yeah, snitches get stitches or something, right? But then again, I've always said Lopez isn't black, he's white. You look at his videos where he's on camera, that guy's not black, he's white. He's faking the funk just to play the race card. Let me tell you something, as a transracial person, I don't appreciate that. All right? I take this very seriously. And like, for example, Christmas is coming up. Do you think it's easy for me when I'm having dinner with my family and they know that I'm transracial and I go in there and everybody's talking, then I walk into the room and all of a sudden everybody gets silent? Come on. That ain't right. So when somebody pretends to be another race, I take that very, very seriously. Very seriously. All right. So I wanted to do a little something here before we continue. Staying in line with the Tyson Fury versus Wilder fight. We did a video. So like I said, we did a video on BDA Live, and it's called How Wilder Will Win versus Tyson Fury, as you can see there on the screen. So scrolling down, and I want to read a couple of the comments, because let me tell you something. The thing that I love about these big fights is that you get all sorts of insane people coming out of the woodwork. You got some sensible fans, boxing fans, but then you get the real fucking the people that, if you like, some of the comments that I read here make me think that the people that leave those comments, they're probably walking the streets mumbling to themselves nonstop. You know those people you see on the streets that they're screaming about God or UFOs or whatever? These are the guys posting. By the way, Reversely says, BDA, did you hear Bucho is pretending to be Mexican? Yeah, I heard about that. But I'm a Mexican. I was born Mexican, but I'm a black man inside a Mexican's body. Hence why I use the term transracial. And I know some of you are gonna find it funny. You're gonna make fun of it, but you wouldn't make fun of somebody who is in a lower economic strata. And that's the same with myself. Transracial, we get made fun of. You know, just the other day there was a transracial person that was hung from a tree. That's no joke. So just goes to show you what type of danger I'm in every time I step out of my house. But then again, I do it all for you people. It's my sacrifice, and I do it so that in a couple of years, more young transracial people can come out and be in a safe space. Anyway, enough foolishness. Here we go. So, Wilder is whiner, says Aliupol. I hope that's a typo. I don't know what that means. I will return to this vid when Fury wins via decision, says Matthew Dyer. Now, see, that's the thing. Matthew Dyer, because this video is about Wilder. So I'm focusing on his strengths, his weaknesses, but also pointing out Fury's weaknesses and how Wilder can take advantage of them. So this guy, I don't know if you watched the video. I'm pretty sure he didn't even finish watching it because he thinks I'm picking sides. Message to Matthew. Learn to listen, because I never picked a side right there in that video. I'm just pointing out what I see, and I didn't make any definitive conclusion or prediction. So this guy wants to come back and gloat, fine. But you're wasting, it's all in your head, man. You're assuming that I'm picking the side. Scott Campbell says, if this fight goes to the cards, 100% Wilder will win. More money in it for boxing for Wilder to win. I'm making this assumption based on Triple G Canelo. And that's the thing that a lot of people are thinking. A lot of people are thinking that if it goes to the decision, Tyson Fury is not going to get the nod. Alright, shout out to Leon the Canteen. Did you subscribe? The Canteen. More prison slang, I suppose. Virtuoso says, BDA knows about the struggle. Damn right. But all you can do is keep on keeping on. Shepherd the Sun says, Fury is agile as a turtle on land. Oh, he's pretty agile for a guy that's fucking 300 pounds or close to it. Gorguruga, sounds like the name of some demon, says, the world owes you a thank you, bro. I know, man, but I don't do this for thank yous. I don't do this for, you know, for notoriety. I do it for the future transracial people, for the young people who can't defend themselves, for the voiceless, for the disenfranchised, for the weak. That's what I'm here for. That's who I'm here for. PJB says, I am Chinese man in Eskimo mind. See, I hope you're not making fun of my plight here, because it's no joke, man. It really isn't. Stuart Little says, I did not bring him up. Oh, he's still talking about fucking boxing beats and rhymes. Shepard Zon says, Fury fanatics are as bad as Wilder fanboys. I will say that that's true, but like, just as an aside, because I told that to Bucho once, and he said, yeah, but they're not as numerous as Wilder fans. And I have to agree. And you're going to see with the comments in this video that I'm reading, it's much more the Wilder fans that come out of the woodwork than the Fury fans. Hennessy Smoking Fish says, I really don't know about that trans. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, you should be sorry. German Persian says, Fury has the worst fanboys in boxing right now, hands down. Really? You think so? I would have said the Wilder fans, or actually Wilder, man. Some of the ones that pissed me off toward the Canelo fanboys and the Lomachenko fanboys too, when they make it out to be as if the guy could have gone up to welterweight and beat a whole bunch of people. Then when he started struggling against Linares, who so far has been his best opponent, they slowed their roll a little bit. But every fighter has their fucking what's this called? Hermits, not hermits, but they're zealots. Fight Scout says, I'm a black dude in a white man's body. See, I didn't even want to bring this up about being transracial, because now everybody's going to be making fun of it. And I don't agree with that. Cachnello says, shout out to Cachnello, he says, if Wilder wins a decision, it would be egregious. Wilder cannot win a decision legitimately versus a boxer like Fury. I still Wilder knocks Fury out, but a decision? Nah. Okay, so he's basically saying Wilder by knockout. He can't see him winning a decision. Joshua has fanboys too, says Joe Lopez. Oh yeah, he has his fucking fanboys too. Shepard Ozan says, Fox, whatever happened to Bin Umar? The hell are they talking about? Daniel Jarman says, Fury can box. Wilder can't box. If Fury is fit, he definitely wins. Reversely says LGBTQRSTUV. All right. Listen, I want to get to these comments because I want to bring people in. Otherwise, people start getting angry. Like, why aren't you inviting us? Hold on a second. It's been a while since I haven't been on the air. Come on. Give me a couple of seconds here. I got $1 each way, says TPs. Godwin Basie says, nice video. Why, thank you. Kane SLQ says, Wilder is also the fastest heavyweight boxer in the world, even though he seems to have more weaknesses than strengths. Great video, BDA. I tend to agree. First of all, I agree about the great video part, but also about the fastest heavyweight. Can you guys out there in the chat room, do you agree or disagree with that? That Wilder has the fastest hands in boxing? I would agree with that statement. He doesn't throw 5-punch combinations. He doesn't shoe shine. You don't see that blazing hand, but he throws that right hand and people can't see it coming. So I would say that's a pretty fucking fast hand. Tyson Fury wins by way of boxing, says James Doherty. MB says, I've seen many a fighter come back from 2.5 or 3 years and be the same. Who do we feel would be the last man standing between Fury, AJ, and Wilder? Asks FL88. That's a very interesting question. Very interesting question. German Persian says, has Wilder ever been down on the scorecards by the time of his stoppage wins? I think I had him losing by a point against Ortiz and against Szpilka and Gerald Washington. I thought it was pretty even. And that's the thing about Wilder, is he's not an active fighter. So far, his right hand has bailed him out. But if it can't bail him out against Tyson Fury, let me tell you something, he is in trouble. Cachello Gibbon Fight says, if Wilder doesn't throw his right hand from his back pocket, he would be much more dangerous. He has good hand speed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Reversely says, I cut the second half. I felt bad for my guy Cruz. What the hell are they talking about? Ortiz was winning, says Pudude. German Persian says, nah, I mean on the actual scorecards. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Well, officially, has he ever been down on the scorecards? You got me stumped there because I don't know the answer to that question. James Erickson says, what prospects do you see being the most dangerous in the heavyweight division? Well, we're going to get to that if we got the time. Guerrero de la Info says, there's only one, Tyson Fury. Gorguruga says, Wilder throws his right as often as a counterpunch when his opponents are coming at him, which doubles the power of the punch. All right, now, again, I got to get through these comments from the from the video that we did. Worst case scenario, we'll do a separate video so as not to waste too much time. Charlie Leon says Wilder is very awkward with that 1-2 punch plus the right hand power. It makes him a tough fighter. And that was the point of the video too, which is that, yes, Wilder has his weaknesses, but it's precisely some of that awkwardness coupled with the power. See, listen, this is boxing. It's a fight when you get down to it. So technique is good to a certain point, but it's not the be-all, end-all. All right? If you don't have technique, but you have a couple of attributes that you can mix together, you can be a very, very dangerous fighter. And that's what Wilder has proven to be so far. Power, good reflexes, and awkwardness. He's the Ricardo Mayorga of the heavyweight division. Someday, soon, somebody's going to take advantage of those flaws, just like Luis Ortiz was doing. But so far, nobody's been able to take it all the way to the scorecards or to stop him. The funny thing is, this video shows Fury how to win more than it does for Wilder, says Kevai in God We Trust. Yeah, that's the thing, because I'm giving Wilder all the all the credit for his advantages and for what he does well, but the bad outweighs the good. Hence why there was a lot of flaws, a lot of clips about his flaws. David Booth says, I think it will be interesting to see how Wilder gets on with somebody who is taller. That's the thing we all want to see. All right, I also want to talk about, hold on a second, because there's this guy, Mass Boxing. Go ahead and read his comments in the video. This guy brings up the race card right away, and you can see he uses a lot of 3 points here, a lot of capital letters just to make a point. He's talking about crack cocaine. He's calling Fury a crackhead. He's talking about history repeating himself. He makes it racial right away. Junior Lawrence says Wilder would knock Tyson out. And then Mass Boxing comes back with the same comment. Like, you can tell he's copy-pasting the comment. What else? Shit, there was another there was another comment that I wanted to read here. Just insane people, man. Insane people. But there is another one here, as you can see. This is from the video that Bucho did about Wilder's worst moments against Pilka. And Unbiased or Biased Boxing Talk says, what year was this fight? Anyway, that's a long-ass comment, but essentially his point is that the Wilder fight against Pilka was a long time ago, and so therefore it's not fair to analyze that for Wilder's weaknesses. Well, here's the thing. The Spilka fight was 2 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. And if you watch notice that the, what's his name? Unbiased or Biased Boxing Talk didn't leave a comment in the video where we showed Wilder's monumental flaws against Ortiz, and that was his last fight. So he hasn't improved that much. Like I said, I give him credit for what he can do, but it's mainly his power that has bailed him out. And also, a little pointer out there for everybody on the internet. Whenever you see somebody with a name on YouTube, like the name like Unbiased Boxing Talk or Boxing Talk and Knowledge or Knowledge Boxing or like Boxing Truth and Facts and shit like that, chances are the person is far away from being unbiased or talking about facts. It's a form of projection, and I've seen it too many times to count. So beware of people with those type of names. Junior Lawrence, this is the other guy. Look what he says here. He says, no weakness in Wilder. Even though in the other video and in the Spilka video, Bucic showed it and I showed it in the other video, he's adjusting to his opponent. It may look like weakness to you, to the untrained eye. Oh man, this guy. And look at his photograph. It's a guy with his chin up in the air and like there's stars in the back. Looks like something out of a cult or something. He says, no weakness, just knockout and baptism. No weakness. You cannot beat this man. I mean, are you serious about this? What the no, you can't beat the man. Even though he was this close, I'm talking about inches from getting knocked out by old man Ortiz. He says, this man will always win. No weakness. Again, he repeats the same shit. Cult behavior, like I always say. And he says, look, all you want, if you think it's weakness, you find the knockout. Okay, first of all, it's, as you can see, it's full of spelling mistakes. So I'm going to assume that this guy's from Angola or Ghana or something, just based on the photograph and on the bad English. And I think he belongs to some sort of cult. That's all I'm going to say. The cult of Deontay Wilder. King Butcher says, BDA, just click on their profiles and notice which videos they watch on YouTube. Yeah, I did on Junior Lawrence and I didn't find shit. He's got no history. But definitely, like I said, people are making this racial right away. You can bet your ass that there's white people rooting for Fury just because he's white, and then there's a lot of people rooting for Wilder just because he's black. Again, black versus white. It never ends, does it? And as a guy who was born Mexican but who is now transracial, all I have to say is, can't we all get along? Huh? Come on, man. It's fucking boxing for Pete's sakes.
Whip out your cocks, come on!
What?
I don't want your money. I just want your mouth on my big dick.
Alright, now this fucking Gaia 500 is still hunting us from the recycling bin. We can't fully get rid of it, and so it's just gonna fucking eat. It's just gonna be saying stupid stuff.
I am a victim of masculinity. And
Oh, fucking idiot! Fucking idiot! Fucking idiot! Fucking idiot!
Somebody, Steven Schneider, donated through the super chat. Shout out to Schneider. Says, "Happy Thanksgiving, BDA's loyals. May we all have a great ending to the year, and hopefully Wilder versus Fury isn't at Stinkfest." Yes, I forgot. In the United States, it's Thanksgiving right now, right? So happy Thanksgiving for everybody out there. Hope you're enjoying some turkey, some what is it? What else do people eat with turkey over there in the United States? Yams, sweet potatoes. No, what is it? Gravy, of course. Can't forget the gravy. Apple pie, cranberry sauce. The whole schmeal. You guys know what it is. The Fight Scout says, "Was that Apology Man victim of masculinity?" No, that was. You know what? We're gonna do a show one day where we reveal all of where we get our sand bites from. Why not? Give the secrets away. Boxing Style, shout out to Boxing Style, says, "Happy Thanksgiving, suckers." Oh, by the way, Boxing Style, I told you, man, because I don't have the time, and I know Bucho doesn't. I told Bucho to do it. He hasn't done it because he doesn't have the time either. Can you find some of your best quotes? Because there's hundreds of hours we got now of podcasts. We need you to find some of your best quotes so we can finally get that intro, man. Because at this point, it's getting a little bit ridiculous. All right, Bucho, if you're listening to this, could you please start sending the invites, the links? Because I'm done with the comments that I want to read. I will make another video reading the comments, but that's just essentially, those are some of the best comments that I wanted to, or the best. That's one way of saying it. The best and the worst comments. And how, again, some people don't think with their head. Look what we did with that video and the upcoming video for Fury's strengths and weaknesses against Wilder. I'm just showing you what I see, the weaknesses and the strengths. I'm presenting things that Wilder and Fury can take advantage of, and that small things that could make a big difference. I'm not saying I hope Wilder wins. I'm not saying I hope Fury wins. All I'm saying is I'm putting out the evidence out there for you to make the decision. That's it. But there's people out there, again, emotionally invested. Maybe they see themselves in Wilder. Maybe they see themselves in Tyson Fury. PJB says, "Do you have a prediction?" I'm pretty awful when it comes to predictions. I'm pretty good at picking out the details, but when it comes to putting it all together and making a prediction, I don't know. Here's the thing. You're going to be seeing it in the upcoming Fury video that we're going to drop tonight. Tyson Fury keeps his hands down. He rolls with the punches a lot, especially the right hand. But my position is that that Wilder, all he has to do is hit him on the temple or on the forehead, and he might just fucking wobble. Maybe he doesn't go down. Maybe he doesn't get stopped, but he could get hurt. And he could get hurt to the point where it stays with him for the rest of the fight and he can't do shit afterwards other than hold and survive. You never know. Other school of thought is Wilder's power might be a little bit overrated. And what I mean by that is that it's not like he touches you and you're out cold. You know, this isn't Lajkovic he's fighting. He's fighting Tyson Fury. Okay, hold on a second here. I gotta invite a couple of people here. Take care of the invites. Oh yeah, Low Plays, like I said, is in the chat room, and from what I understand about what happened, he went over because people were talking shit about boxing beats and rhymes, and then Low Plays went snitching. Low Plays, you've been behind bars, I bet. You're not supposed to be snitching. All right, and stop pretending you're black as well. I'm transracial, and I don't appreciate you pretending to be a race that you don't belong to. Stop faking the funk, man. Stop faking the funk. All right, Bucho, I sent the link. Hopefully, our main man Stu gets it. So yeah, so that was essentially the Fury versus Wilder. Those were my thoughts about it, about the fight. It's not going to be an entertaining fight. Now, okay, people want a prediction. Here's another thing. Here's another thing to consider about Tyson Fury versus Wilder. The stamina. Who has better stamina? Wilder was looking pretty winded against Ortiz, old man Ortiz, 45-year-old Ortiz. Tyson Fury, though, he's coming back from a long layoff. He has gone the distance since coming back. But I don't know if he can keep it up, man. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I'm not sold on either guy's stamina. Especially because they're heavyweights. And they're 6'5", 6'7", 200 plus pounds. It's pretty hard to have great stamina when you're that big. They're going to pace themselves. They're not going to throw that shitload of punches. And so that's that. But it's not going to be that good a fight. And by the way, one thing that I'm high on right now is I'm getting trigger happy with my banning and all that. So I'll just put low plays on timeout because we don't appreciate snitches on this show. All right? Like they say on the streets, snitches get stitches. And of course, low plays would know about that because he's not from the streets. He's a faker. He's a fake. He's faking the funk, like I said. Wouldn't surprise me if back in the 90s he was, banging to Eminem. And then when his friends would come in, he was like, no, I only listen to fucking Gangster and all that. I don't listen to white boys, even though he is a white boy. Oh, we got Boxing Style on the line. Boxing Style, are you there?
Oh, yes, I am. What's up, bro?
Good to talk to you, man. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I could have joined the last podcast that you guys did, the last one. Yeah.
You couldn't.
What were you saying about my intro?
Yeah, because we need we need some samples from you, your best quotes and all that, so we can put them in the introduction. But listen, there's fucking hours, hundreds of hours of show, and I was trying to look for your best quotes. I found a couple, but none that I'm not pleased. I mean, they're good, but they're not what you want in an intro. You know what I mean? I want the best, cream of the crop.
Okay, this is what you can do. You could put a song up like, it's not on you that she wants to be loved by anyone. Like that would be dope. I would love that shit, bro. And then you could add like a few voices of mine in there somewhere. I'll be cool with that.
First of all, Boxing Style, don't tell me how to do your intro, all right? No, but seriously, I want the best. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm trying to look for the perfect fucking quote because I know you had a bunch of lines. So I just want the best, man. That's all I'm saying.
That was another one.
Anyway, listen, I'm trying to invite Stu as well. I hope he gets the fucking invite. I know my man Butch is taking care. All right.
You mean Nigel? That's what I like to call him.
Nigel, yeah. All right, Boxing Style, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Let's get down to it. Who are you picking for this fight?
I actually got the tickets a couple of days ago, bro.
No shit.
I'm gonna go. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go, bro. Come on, think about it.
Good for you, man.
Last time LA. What was the biggest fight heavyweight? It was fucking Vladimir and thing. What's his name?
Right, hold on a second.
Klitschko of
Boxing Style. Before we continue,
Lennox
Boxing
Lewis.
Style. Before we continue, man, you got your TV on or something?
Oh my bad, I do have my TV on.
Yeah, please. I know you're watching Law and Order.
It was Lennox Lewis and Klitschko.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Hold on. The big that you're saying heavyweight fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, what was the last heavyweight fight that was in the Staples Center that was worth watching?
Yeah, I think that's the. But by the way, can people out there listen to Boxing Style? Because I think his mic is muted. Can you listen to everybody? Just let me know in the chat room if you can hear Boxing Style. All right. Because I think you. Oh no, you muted your mic. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Dr. Steelhammer says I can still beat these bumps. Oh, all right. Sorry, Boxing Style. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying that was the biggest. This is the second probably biggest Staples fight that it's around my lifetime. So I might as well go watch it. Pay like $370.
Oh, big spender.
Yeah, but it's worth it, bro. I mean, like the front fucking seats are like 5 to 4 G's and shit.
You're
Like,
kidding.
It's ridiculous.
Whoa.
I wish I would have had that, but
Man, let me tell you something.
It's too expensive for that fucking fight. I ain't paid 4 to 5.
You know what you should do? Go to the Turkish government and say, listen, I'm a survivor of the genocide. You owe me some money. Spit it out, fuck faces, and they'll give you a couple of bucks, and you get to go watch the fight.
You think I would waste that money on that shit?
Well, you did waste you did spend $300 on the getting your seats. Well, okay, but which section are those seats on?
I think it was the 100, somewhere in the 100 lodges, 100 something. I have to look at the ticket again.
Okay. Well, listen, the best place to watch a fight live isn't really front row. It's in the middle. That's my opinion.
Oh, really? The last time I went to was the Pacquiao fight, and that was in Dallas, in Texas. That was like 8 years ago, not in Staples Center.
The Joshua or Margarito fight?
No. Pacquiao somebody. I forgot the name of him. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. The Joshua Clottey,
Yeah.
Joshua Clottey or Margarito versus Pacquiao.
He was a black kid. I forgot.
Yeah, it's Joshua Clottey. Yeah.
That's probably what. Yeah, that's what it was. It was him.
All right.
It had to be him.
Now, before we continue, we do have Stu Little on the line, so let's get started with him.
I wasn't bad
I
though.
told you what's going to happen to Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
What's
All
up,
right.
boys?
How you doing, Stu?
Yeah,
What's
just
up,
a bit
Nigel?
hungover, boys. Not feeling
Oh,
too
no.
good. I'm off work till Monday, thank God, because I'm dying here. But I'll stay on for a little while.
Good,
Not
good.
sure how long.
STDs, huh? It
All
gotta
right.
be them STDs.
Yeah, I had someone over last night, and it was a late one. Let's just say that.
Look at that. By the way, Lopez is saying the guy who talks about grown men behind their backs. How can we talk about how were they talking about somebody behind their back if this is all being streamed? I have a hard time understanding that logic. But then again, if you expect Lopez and logic, you're not really gonna get it.
I've done videos about this on my channel. What I've said on here is nothing that he doesn't already know. But obviously, Lopez, the snitch, he ran off to Boxing Beats and Rhymes and put his own little bit onto the story. And Beats did a video about it. But I've responded with a video response, and it's not a beef response because I do have respect for Boxing Beats and Rhymes.
There you go.
But we was laughing at the fact that he said Sam Langford would knock out Vitaly Klitschko, and he says he wants to debate me on this list. He doesn't want BDA to be the host.
Wait a minute. BDA is the best host.
You're not going to be fair. You're not going to be fair. But he wanted to debate me on this list. But I've just replied and said, look, the minute you post that list, I've won. Because it's so ridiculous. It's over. There is no debate. Once you post your list, it's over for you. But I have responded to it.
Did you guys see the? You guys hear me well or what?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, it felt like it was echoing. Did you guys see Low Places negotiating the pay-per-view prices? It was fucking hilarious, man. I thought he was gonna pull it off, and he didn't pull it off. I'm like, why do you fucking post this shit if you're not pulling it off in the first place? You look like an idiot.
Can you imagine
it didn't work out this time?
Can you imagine being a person that works for the cable company, like customer service, and you got to deal with nut jobs every day, and then you get another one? I mean, they're not getting paid enough,
bro. Then you get Low Place.
Yeah,
it's another tier, bro. That's a cokehead, bro. I don't want to pay for that shit. It's cokehead. I ain't gonna pay for that.
Maybe he should stop spending. Maybe he should. Maybe he should stop spending going on to every podcast there is or begging to get on this one and get a job, and maybe that way he could afford the pay-per-view, man, instead of harassing hardworking people who are just trying to do their job. I mean, I don't know, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Yes, that's what makes it worse, the fact that he was on that night begging to get on, you know, send me the link, and as soon as because we didn't send the link, he ran off.
But listen, that's the other thing. If you talk shit about
and he's making out that I just brought him up out of the blue. I think someone asked me about it, and that's when I told the story.
That's the thing. Listen, you and Boxing Beats and Rhymes apparently have history. I don't know the guy. I have listened to his show before. It's a good show. I heard he doesn't like us. Through the grapevine. I don't know why he doesn't. I don't know why he would dislike us. I mean, come on. Who can dislike Mr.BDA?
He's never liked me. Me and him have been back and forth for quite a while now. But
why?
I'm not a stupid man. But he's a boxing snob sometimes, like these historians are. And when you're saying, not giving Vitaly Klitschko any credit, when you're saying Sam Lankford is going to knock him out cold, and when I counter that, I'm the fucking stupid one here. Do you know what I mean? I just don't get it.
Well, listen, you sent Bucho a video, a response. So if you want us to post it, we'll post it. And
it's not even a beef video. So if anyone's expecting the beef for me to go at him, it's not really that. It's just responding with a few facts.
It's not a beef. It's a pork. That's what it is.
I knew you were gonna make that joke. And let me tell you something. I saw it coming from a mile away, and I'm tempted just to kick you out, just because of the fucking pun that you just made a pun.
You're Jew or something? Like, you got something against pork? What's going on, bro?
No, I'm a Muslim. I got something against pork, baby. You don't put a foul animal, a dirty animal inside. I don't swallow dirty animals. All right.
It can't be.
Go ahead, make a joke.
Pigs don't fly.
That's right. Now listen, let's get away from all this silliness, internet drama, and back into Tyson Fury versus Wilder. Boxing Style, you told me you were gonna go to the fight, but you did not answer my question. Who's winning?
Oh, I'm picking Fury, man. I'm going with the Kid. I'm a big fan of the Kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Fury by possible. I don't want to say KO, man. I'll just say decision, but I have a feeling it'll be a KO later on. So he's gonna catch him when he makes a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be all gone. He thinks Fury is like pillow-fisted, man. Fury has a hell of a chin, and he hits one of the hardest heavy hitters in the boxing. It's underrated, his power, because he doesn't put his body behind the punches a lot of times. That's what it is. And they think he's pillow-fisted. Yeah, you were...
Man,
he played with his last opposition. He didn't even go all out with his opposition. She hurt him, and he just let him go. He's trying to get the rounds in. That does not mean the guy is pillow-fisted. He played with Chisora.
It reminds me of
Chisora. Remember Chisora went all out with fucking Dylan White? He played with Chisora.
Listen, what I'm saying is this. It reminds me of when Hatton was going to fight Mayweather. He kept saying throughout the fight, like, oh, I'm going to pressure him. He's not going to be able to deal with my pressure. Like, he never took into account that Mayweather was going to be able to hurt him. And once Mayweather started landing flush on his face and snapping his head back, he came to the realization, God damn, this guy hits harder than I thought. And I think Wilder might come to the same conclusion because it's a 300-pound guy he's fighting, or close to 300-pound guy.
Ship's like, I'm going to be balling. And I don't give a fuck if somebody gets KO'd, and that's Fury. I don't care. I paid for this shit. I want to see a KO. I don't care where it comes from.
Well, there you go. Stu, what are your thoughts on this? Well, I don't know if he can answer.
Well, I just watched Ortiz Wilder again on the Boxing Legends highlights channel, and I thought I'll have a look at Wilder again because you forget you forget the fights. You remember the decent bits of the fights, but you actually forget most of the fight, don't you? It soon goes out your brain. So I watched that again, and I didn't realize how bad Wilder's technique is at times, and I can see why he gets a lot of hand injuries. Obviously, it's a lot of power coming. I mean, he's throwing his body weight behind these shots, and there's a lot of power coming from him because he's hurting these guys. But I can definitely, because he wasn't turning his punches, and he was getting beat to the punch as well by Ortiz at times. And I didn't realize how well Ortiz did that night. Do you know what I mean? And this is a guy that was close to pulling out through high blood pressure.
It's just true. What round was Arthur Spilka knocked out by Deontay Wilder?
I think it was 10.
If Arthur Spilka was able to do that to him, what do you think fucking Fury is gonna do to him, bro? That's a skill gap of a mile, bro. Like, it's just not even a comparison. Like, I mean, unless Wilder has just developed over the years to become this masterful boxer that we know him to be, then it'll be a totally different game.
Well, do you think Wilder has improved a little bit since the Spilka fight?
He has improved, but it's not to the point where, I mean, it's very significant, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I would say...
Wilder's at his best when he keeps in shape, gets behind his drag, judges. I've been flashy, put the hooks in there and the uppercuts. He looks horrible. You know, he's very good with that straight right, and he's got a decent jab. But inside game, non-existent. You know, balance horrible. I mean, this guy, I didn't realize because he keeps knocking people out. In fact, you just don't realize how bad technically he is. I mean, he was awful against Ortiz. I didn't realize how bad he was, but he got the job done, and that's the thing with Wilder.
Exactly, he bails him out. That power bails him out.
Yeah, he lands that right hand. He lands that right hand, and you're waking up in hospital.
I think what's going to happen is the moment that if he does land his right hand and Fury does not get hurt, because Fury has a hell of a chin, as contrary to popular belief, and he's going to get really discouraged, and it's going to be all ending after that. I think Fury has a hell of a chin. He's just going to take the punch, and he's going to like, oh, is that all you got? Okay,
we'll have to see, man. And by the way, you're going to be at the fight. We're going to give you a BDA mission.
Maybe I better put it up on video?
Well, no, hold on a second. Wear something that we can identify you by, like wear a BDA cap or something green, a green band around your arm, and just start acting like a fool. Act like as much like an asshole as you can and see how much you can get away with.
I'm going to get wasted.
Yeah, you're going to get wasted for sure. You're going to get wasted. By the way, we got Battle Rifle on the line. Battle, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Thanks for being on the show. Now, listen, I want to get something out here because I was listening to the show the other day when you guys were on and you were talking about Wilder's balance. And, okay, I forget exactly what the comparison was between him and Lennox Lewis. But I will say this. Wilder has bad balance. But if you go watch the video we did over at BDA Live, my whole point is this. Wilder has bad balance, but so did Manny Pacquiao pre-second Eric Morales fight. That was a Pacquiao that all he had was a 1-2, and it was enough to beat Marco Antonio Barrera, who was rated number 3 by most people. Number 3 pound for pound, and the champ at featherweight. So sometimes, even if you have, like I've always said in that video that I made, that's my whole point. If you have weaknesses, but you have 3 or 4 strengths that you can combine, that makes you a very, very dangerous fighter. The question coming in here is going to be, can Wilder prevent his flaws from being exploited for 12 rounds?
Who was you talking about that beat Barrera because cut out, bro?
Oh, I said Pacquiao.
Oh, when Pacquiao beat Barrera.
The first time. The first time.
Yeah, I think that's when Pacquiao arrived on the scene. But Barrera actually lost to Junior Jones, which I couldn't believe because Junior Jones had one of the worst chins in.
Who lost to Junior Jones?
Barrera did.
Oh yeah, I mean Junior Jones. He's like you said, his chin is probably.
But he's horrible. Yeah, he's awkward, but he had a horrible chin. He managed to avoid being KO'd by someone like Barrera at the time. So it just shows smart fighters. You know, it's like having the power. You got to land these shots. Smart fighters, world-class fighters can avoid these.
Yeah,
see him coming.
It's stylistically bad matchups for some people. You know, Eric Morales. You know, he beat him up, but Barrera still had a hard time with Eric. Eric Morales still had a hard time with Barrera. So,
styles make fights, and Junior Jones was the worst. I don't know, for some reason it was a bad style for Barrera because even when Barrera tried to box him in the rematch, he did better obviously than in the first fight where he got knocked out almost cold and then his corner jumped into the ring and that whole thing happened. But styles make fights. So the question is, does Fury have the style to finally avoid, because that's all he has to do really, avoid the right hand, and he doesn't have that many problems. Because Wilder, his left hook is non-existent. He slaps with it. He's got a pretty decent jab. That's why in the video that I did, I'm telling people he needs to jab.
Actually, Wilder's left hook is very underrated. If you look at his hook, you know, if you notice there's certain ways some people fight, and if you notice how like Mark Breland and like Vernon Forrest fight, they fight really bladed. In a sense, like if you don't know the word bladed means, they fight really like turned on edge. Like they show more side to their body, like kind of like Floyd Mayweather. So the
Uh-huh.
thing is, what they do is they usually throw a 1-2, and then the left hook is not really always just there to land. Sometimes the left hook is there to make distance. So if you see like Deontay Wilder, he will throw a 1-2 and then he'll throw a left hook. Sometimes he's not just doing it just to hit you. He would do it to like make distance. So he would throw the left hook to like push you off balance, so you can't counter
Yeah.
it quickly. Or he would throw.
I actually agree with you there, Battle. I actually agree that his hook at time, his left hook at times is quite decent. And this is the problem I keep saying about him losing his shape. If he keep his shape and just throw the punches that he knows, and he tries to get all flashy and he starts winging these wild shots. I mean, some of them hooks that he fucking if you can't see them coming, they should be in a boxing ring. But when he gets behind his jab, keeps his shape, and just as the basic things, stuff like his straight punches and the left hook, it is a quite decent left hook, and he was catching Ortiz with it at times and hurting him. So that's obviously a weapon he has got as well. But when he fucking hurts you, he just flies in, and that technique goes out the window. Just windmill after windmill, chin in the air, and that gives Tyson Fury a chance even when he's hurt.
Yeah. Bucho was telling
There's
me.
going to be a lot of feints in this fight, just like how it was in Klitschko's. And if he rushes in and he makes a mistake of throwing that right hand or coming in a little too long with his jab, he's going to get hit. He's going to get hit hard. He's gonna, yeah, and he's gonna not only get hit hard, he's just gonna second guess every time he throws it because Fury hits harder than anybody's ever faced with. Trust me when I say this. He hits harder than anybody. Wilder.
I don't know.
Except for sparring, because I don't know who the hell he's sparring with.
Let me finish.
You got Malik Scott is a hard puncher, but he just has a bad chin and bad stamina. And then you have Luis Ortiz, who's also another hard puncher. So I mean,
none of those guys compared to fucking Fury's power.
Malik Scott
is not. It's debatable because Fury has some good knockouts, but he doesn't have like a lot of one punch knockouts.
If he wants to, he could put that. He even says it. He doesn't want to play around with the big boys too much and stand toe to toe because you might just get KO'd. He plays a safe game.
Yeah, but that's the point. I mean, you've seen people with much less opposition just go out there and say they're going to fight how they want to fight and still knock people out cold. I mean, you have people like Dominic Brazil who can do that.
I will tend to agree with boxing style in the sense that Fury does have underrated power, but Ortiz, that left hand, boy oh boy, I guess it depends on how much each guy wants to put into it. Tyson Fury tends to, maybe he does have, there's a certain morsel of truth when he says he doesn't want to overcommit with his power, especially since most of the people that he's fighting are shorter than him. If you start winging hooks against smaller guys, that's when they catch you with the overhand, just like, what's his name? Cunningham did. So maybe that's why he's being careful. I don't know. One thing for sure is, or one thing that I want to ask you guys is stamina. Who has better stamina? Is it Wilder or is it Fury?
For now, it's probably.
If I'm being honest,
you go first, Battle. You go first.
If I'm being honest, I don't think I've ever really seen either guy just super winded. They've always fought in a way to where it's really hard for me to tell that they're winded or not. You know, you have Tyson Fury when he fought what's his name? What's the guy? What's it? Hammer? There were certain moments where he was kind of like opening his mouth, and I would say he's probably a little tired. And I don't know. Sometimes he can showboat, so I don't know when he's putting his arms down. Is he showboating or is he really tired? Wilder, in other cases, sometimes he would get somebody hurt, and then he'd be forced to clinch because he just tired himself out because the person wouldn't go, like Duhaupas. Duhaupas wouldn't go. So there were certain moments where I seen Deontay Wilder tired, but I've never really actually seen him really, really tired. At least from my vision. So maybe
Go on, bro. Sorry, please.
Oh, you can go ahead.
No, I was just it cut out, bro.
You're cutting off.
To say, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you're cutting off every 5 words.
Really?
Yeah, I think your computer's having a bit of a hangover too.
Yeah, it probably is, man. Fucking internet's terrible. That's the downfalls of living in the countryside. But the stamina thing, I think they both fight at a slow pace. So it's hard to choose. It's not like they do a lot of work, so they usually fight at their own pace as well, and they don't like how many punches does Tyson Fury throw around? Not many.
No.
The Klitschko figures will tell you that. Wilder picks his moments. Wilder don't just throw for the sake. He usually picks his moments. He could be quite boring at times. But one thing I've noticed about Wilder is with the stamina thing. When he gets hurt, he takes a long time to recover. Them legs, man, they take, and that's when Fury has to jump on him. If he can hurt Wilder, he has to jump on him. Don't let him get his legs back and start throwing them right hands.
That goes to show you his stamina ain't that great. If he gets hurt and it takes him a long time to recover, his stamina ain't on point. Fury, on the other hand, has never been KO'd. His stamina, it's a mental thing a lot of times with the stamina too. It's not just the conditioning of the physical aspect. It's like your sheer willpower over the other man and next to you. You know,
I think
in front of you, actually. That's what it is.
Wilder,
and Fury got that mind game on point too. It ain't just the. I mean, Wilder is starting to grow his confidence like that. He's starting to grow it over the KOs that he has. Now he's stepping up in competition. But Fury's had this shit for a very long time. He's had. Well,
I think. Let me tell you, man. Hold on. Let me just say that I think Wilder's confidence, like you said, I think right now it's sky high because he did beat Luis Ortiz, and that was a good win. Now the other thing about the stamina is Wilder did tire a bit after he tried to finish Ortiz after the first knockdown. But that's the thing. That's one of the downsides if you're an explosive guy like Wilder is that it takes a lot of energy. And if you throw a lot of punches that way, it takes a long time to recoup that energy. But like Stu said, both guys are actually, if you watch their fights, they tend to dictate the pace. And so they throw punches at their leisure. You don't see them forced to throw combinations or anything like that. And Fury did very well for himself against Vladimir Klitschko. A much more experienced.
One thing I've noticed about Fury that I haven't seen from Wilder is that Fury will bounce around the ring for 12 rounds straight, while Wilder would sometimes stagger around and walk around after the mid rounds and shit.
I haven't seen somebody do that in a long time, like bounce around the ring for 12 rounds.
He does it though. He does it. That's how he was able to avoid Klitschko's right hand.
There were a lot of moments where he clinched and he tied him up and he moved back and tied him up. So I don't say bounce.
He clinches because he's necessary to clinch. Sometimes it's a tactical thing.
I actually saw Vladimir clinching more.
Nobody bounces on their toes for 12 complete rounds. Not even Ali does it. He has to clinch every once in a while. But
Ali's not. At least not on his toes anymore.
I'm not talking about toes. Just bouncing around in general.
No, but Battle Rifle is right though. Like he's not. I get what you're saying, boxing style, like movement. But technically, if you want to get down to it, yeah, it's impossible to be fucking bouncing around your toes for 12 rounds. That's you can't do it. 12 rounds, man, that's insane.
It's possible. But he does. I mean, depending on if you're used to it.
It's possible, but you would have
to fight. Usyk is the only one that you could confirm that he can do that shit.
Yeah, but Usyk, he can, but there are moments where I would say that, you know, he's walking over here. Now I'm walking over. I mean, of course, it's technically boxing, but you know what I mean? It's not the same as bouncing. Because I know sometimes you have to clarify this because when you're bouncing on your toe, it's really tough. I've seen Ali do like equivalent of 12-round bouncing, but it was against people like Chuck Webner or George Travallo. You know what I mean?
Bro, when I say bouncing, I don't mean that the entire time. He's running around the ring. He's not going to be able to hit him if he does that shit. He stops every now and then, pops a few shots, then fucking takes off on his bicycle.
Sorry, Stu. Just before we continue, I just want to introduce Recognize the Matrix before I forget, because otherwise people yell at me.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right. Recognize, thank you for being on the show. We'll get to you in a minute. I just want to let Stu finish what he was about to say. Go ahead, Stu. Sorry about that. Uh-oh.
The young Cassius Clay, his footwork was world class. I mean, the bounce, he was at his peak then. That young Clay, that fucking actually got a gift decision against Henry Cooper. When you look how long he was given to recover. Well, he did. He couldn't do it. But that guy, his footwork's tremendous. I mean, his skills. I think when he had that break and he came back, I think he lost his bounce in his foot.
He did.
His footwork.
So what you're saying? So what you're saying? As soon as you let go of pork, and said, fuck pork.
That Nation of Islam fucked him over. The Nation of Islam fucked him over. Malcolm X tried to warn him. He tried. But then I think Ali saw what happened to Malcolm X and he said, you know what? I think I'm going to stick with the Nation of Islam here. I don't want to end up with my body full of bullet holes. All right, Recognize, are you there?
Yes, I am. What's going on? Happy Thanksgiving and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Wait a
Thanksgiving,
minute.
you guys, man. I forgot to mention that shit.
You Puerto Ricans, you celebrate that in the U.S.?
You make it sound like we're some like from another planet or something.
Well, technically you are, man.
Well, technically, yeah, maybe we are.
People in the UK don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Come on, man.
I think they
Puerto Ricans serve chicken. That's a difference.
I'm legitimately asking.
Real? No, they don't have Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is I mean, think about the history of Thanksgiving. Like how would that translate over to the UK? Oh, battle rifle dropped off.
They celebrate over there, I believe.
No, they don't. Stu, back me up on this, man.
I think they do. A little bit. I think they celebrate it just a little bit.
We don't celebrate. We don't celebrate it, but we have Black Friday now. I mean, I don't know why we've got Black Friday, but we have it.
Black Friday is popping, man. You get everything 50% off.
It's meant to be a Thanksgiving. It's meant to be a Thanksgiving. Meant to be a Thanksgiving celebration. That's why they have Black Friday over there. And we've copied you, but we just don't have the turkey around the table with the family. I mean, we don't celebrate it, but we obviously celebrate a bargain in the shop.
Well, there you go. By the way, do you guys in the UK, do you have a Boxing Day like in Canada?
Yeah, we have Boxing Day, yeah.
Well, there you go.
What day is that?
That's
somewhere in September.
Day after Christmas, man. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, September. Recognize, would you stop please spreading fake news?
Oh, that's fake news. Sorry, fake news.
We're trying to have a legitimate show here. And
I'm like Jim Acosta. I'm like Jim Acosta. Very rude.
Mr. President. You know, Jim Acosta.
Who brought in CNN over here, bro?
Boxing Style.
Me, man.
Boxing Style is the Jim Acosta of BDA Boxing.
Yeah, definitely.
Mr. President.
Let me finish. Listen. I know. Let me finish. I got to say something. You know something, Boxing Style? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, man.
That's like another version of apology right there. You should be ashamed of yourself.
All right.
So we were talking about Wilder. What's going on with Wilder?
Yeah, we're talking footwork, stamina, the whole spiel. You know, just we got 1 week to go.
You know, he doesn't really.
Basically, Boxing Style said Wilder's footwork is the equivalent of Willie Pep.
Willie Pep? No.
Boxing Style, did you say that?
What?
I don't think.
I think he's trolling me, bro.
You.
Yeah, he's. Yeah, I think he is, man.
I think that Wilder's footwork is. I mean, it's pretty bad, but nobody hasn't taken advantage of it. So I'm trying.
It's decent. I mean, we're talking about the heavyweight division here, with most heavyweights. Footwork is below average.
But he kind of plots very typical, but it still works for him because then when he starts swinging punches, nothing's typical about his punches. So it's like I don't know when you tame Wilder, you can outbox him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Gerald Washington showed that to me, at least. When you can tame Wilder and you know get him in the right position, you could turn him. You can outbox him, but once Wilder gets into a rhythm, that's when it's like, you know, you start having Wilder swinging punches and backing you up a little bit. Yeah, that's when he's dangerous. The best way to.
Sorry, Boris, go on.
The best way to beat Wilder is to back him up a little bit. Also, confuse him somewhat with the footwork. I think Washington did that, man. I truly believe that. I think Washington did that for the first 3 rounds. And then the fourth round, Wilder started to get back on rhythm, and that was it after that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Completely agree, man. But here's the problem, though. I mean, listen, it's a boxing fight, so you're going to be in trouble either way when you're fighting a guy like Wilder. But so you're saying it's better to come forward a little bit than to stay away in range for the right hand?
Yes. Okay, listen, this is Wilder there's so much video of Wilder making so many mistakes in fights, right?
Right.
But it's we've seen him throw a punch with his lead left and fucking a hook with his lead left, and there's nothing there, and he falls all over himself. That's not the way to beat Wilder. Wilder's still in rhythm. You know what I'm saying? He's still in rhythm. The way you beat Wilder is to you take advantage of his lack of footwork. You throw jabs. You start throwing jabs at him. You go back to the same thing. Make him reset. Back him up. Make him reset, and you have a shot. I'm not saying you're definitely gonna win, but you have a better shot. Once he starts throwing punches, I think that's when it becomes dangerous. That's what I think. Once he starts letting off punches, because they come from all different angles, there's a lot of power behind it, and and we've seen him knock out just about everybody.
That's right. But that's my thing. There is Wilder's footwork ain't that bad. I mean, it's bad when he, like what Stu said, when he tries to throw uppercuts and all that. That's when he gets off balance. When he pivots away, like he did against the shorter Stiverne, or even against Wilder. I mean, Ortiz. But here's the thing, like I keep saying, and like Reckon said, the feints. That's the key to getting Wilder.
That's what I forgot to mention. Yeah, the feints.
You did mention that. You did.
That's what Gerald Washington was doing. It was the feints. Yes, I know people say Gerald Washington, he got knocked out. I understand that. I'm talking about the first 3 rounds, especially round 2 and 3. To me, go look at it. That's how. The more Wilder is tame, the more he has to back up and reset again, the better chance you have of at least trying to outbox him and maybe stop him later. Because you get into a fist fight with him, he's gonna win.
You know what Wilder's type of style is? It's like Vladimir Klitschko style, but a little more nimble, a little more unorthodox.
Boxing style.
That's pretty much what it is, because he does stick his jab out there and wait for that right hand to show its moment. That's what it is. And then if he lands a jab or something, he decides to be a little more nimble and try to catch you in angles that you don't see coming. Or if you walk into his punches, if you walk into his zone, he could catch you coming in. It's not always like Matrix saying it's going to be safe if he walks in. I don't think it will be safe to just go in his zone. It's not going to be safe at all. You have to pick your time when to get in. That's what it is. And I don't think Fury's gonna do that shit. I think Fury's gonna keep his distance and then know when to get in when he makes a mistake, counterpunching all day. That's what it's gonna be.
Boxing styles. It's funny you said that though, bro, because I was just gonna say that comment about there's certain things that Deontay Wilder does that I think he's took off Vlad in the training camps that he's been. That little step back. That's why I think it's hard to hit clean because a lot of fighters they're always falling short with him and lunging in, falling short. He does that little Vlad, that little step back, and then he leans back with his long body, and he's hard to get. And I think that's one thing he's picked up. And the right hand, obviously, timing the right hand. That's obviously when you're in camp with Vladimir Klitschko. I think he was in quite a few camps with him. You're gonna pick up these things, and that's just a little thing that he's picked up. And I think that's probably why he survived to this day.
You motherfuckers need to go over to BDA Live and watch the video we did because we're addressing all that. We address all that. All right. Actually, I want you guys to.
I don't think you put one thing that thing does. What's his name? Fury does. BDA.
Well, that's in the second video. That's in the second video. That's in the second video. Here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to leave right now and watch that video. Go do that now.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna. In a little while, I'm gonna go in my room, turn off all the lights, and I'm gonna watch it.
All right, that sounds very.
Lit up a candle and shit.
Yeah. Put on shorts and a towel over you, so we don't know if you're naked or not.
Low play
All right.
style. Low play style.
By the way, speaking of Tyson Fury and all that, I just want to play because there's a video here from BT Sports, and they got people making their predictions. A whole bunch of people from the British boxing scene. They're making their predictions. So let's just listen to a snippet and see who's picking who.
I'm not going to shortchange
That's Lennox Lewis, by the way.
him on this one, so I believe that he should be ready for Deontay.
Wilder has had pretty much a perfect.
So he thinks Fury is going to knock Deontay Wilder. Now, can anybody enlighten me on what exactly? Because I think there was some beef between Fury and Lewis a couple of years ago. What was that all about?
I didn't even know they had. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised they had beef, but I'm not aware.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
What's
All
going
I'm
on?
hearing is, yeah. What's with traffic?
Yo,
Hey,
you hear me?
recognize, man. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear
Sorry
the
about
traffic too in the background. What is this? WFAN?
No, I mean I had to go outside because I got the whole family out and it's fucking freezing out here today.
Oh yeah. All right. Listen.
22 degrees.
Oh boy, that sounds exactly a bit like Canada here, freezing your
Yeah,
nuts
man.
off.
Yep, literally.
Exactly. Literally.
Snowing.
All right.
Is it snowing?
No,
Who
no
cares?
Yeah,
Who-
shit, yeah.
Let's keep watching the video. God damn it! What is this? The Weather Channel?
He is. Whereas Tyson Fury unfortunately hasn't. If I was a betting man, I'd have to go with the consistency in Deontay Wilder.
All right. So David Hayes says Fury hasn't been
Wilder.
consistent, and he's picking Deontay Wilder.
Me too. I'm with Hay on that one.
All right.
Will cause problems. It's hard to write him off. I hope he wins. Just fancy Wilder.
Oh, Carl Frampton picks Deontay Wilder.
They've asked me after Fury beat Klitschko, I'd say Fury, but I have to stick with me running and say Wilder. Tyson has...
All right, Liam Smith picks Wilder as well. So that's 4 predictions so far. 3 for Wilder, 1 for Fury. And the only guy who picked Fury, Lennox Lewis, the Canadian, the greatest Canadian boxer of all time. What do you guys think so far? You think that they got it right?
We'll find out.
All right.
I kind of lean towards David Hayes' little analysis of it, where he says, you know, Fury hasn't been fighting, and Wilder's at least he's been fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bro, you don't go with David Hay. He's been wrong like so many times. If he's picking fucking Wilder, it's gonna be the opposite side. Trust me.
Yeah, you're probably right. Listen,
It's gonna be opposite.
look, I go into this. I go into this pick. Not too sure of myself. I'm not 100% sure Wilder's gonna beat him, but I gotta go with Wilder. He's been more consistent. You know, he's been boxing and he could fight, man. I mean, the dude knows how to fight. He is technically flawed in certain ways, but he's a fighter, man. So
I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing, though, bro. He is a fighter. He's not a boxer. I don't think he's got. Well, I think he's not really learnt much in the game. I think because he's a fighter and he hits hard, and he's got athletic abilities. He's quite quick as well. I think that's what's got him so. He is a fighter. You can't take that away from him. He's got a big heart and he's a fighter. When it comes to boxing,
All right, we're getting.
I want to ask my brothers real quick so they can give you prediction. Who do you got, Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder?
Oh no, are you kidding me, bro? I think Fury's gonna put the beats on.
Oh, all right. So that's one of my brothers thinks Fury's gonna beat.
I'll say Fury as well.
You know Tyson?
Fury, yeah, Tyson Fury.
Deontay Fury is gonna win.
Deontay Wilder.
You going with Deontay Wilder?
He said Deontay Fury. He
said
said
Deontay Fury. You foul.
Deontay Fury.
That's it.
So
It's a combination,
no matter
bro.
who wins.
Hey,
right, cool.
recognize you got the whole family over there.
Yeah, I got all my brothers over here.
How come I don't hear salsa music in the back?
No, we don't. they're new generation, man. They're like hip hop and all that.
Oh, they like Tekashi 69.
No, they don't like him for whatever reason.
All right.
Nobody likes. I don't know why, but nobody likes him. I wonder why nobody likes him.
He's a snitch, isn't he?
What is Tekashi 69? Is he Puerto Rican?
I think
I don't know, man.
I heard he's Puerto Rican and Mexican, but he represents Mexico, so they can have.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yo, BDA, y'all can have him. Don't worry about it.
All right, thanks. I guess. No, we got
I
Lennox
think
Lewis.
He'd fit in well in Canada, he would, wouldn't he?
I got my family reunion at 6 o'clock. It's gonna be
Oh man.
All right, so out of my three brothers, right? Out of my three brothers, you got one that's picking Wilder, the other one is picking Fury, and the other one is picking Tyson Wilder or Fury Wilder, whatever the fuck it's called.
Tyson Wilder.
That's a draw, bro. That's a draw.
So we got
Tyson Wilder.
We know what the bet's gonna. We know what to put down. It's gonna be a draw. The fight's gonna be a draw.
All right, so there you have it. They're split, I guess. All right, recognize. Ask
Sorry
them.
about that, guys.
No, don't worry. Ask them. Okay, so they're making their picks, but ask them who they're rooting for.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I didn't hear
Ask them who they're rooting for.
Who you guys rooting for? One more question. Who do you guys rooting for? Are you rooting?
I'm actually rooting for Wilder so they can make that super fight happen.
Oh, for
Joshua.
All right. Who you rooting? You right? Are you rooting for? So I split right now.
I actually think Fury has a good chance of knocking his ass out.
Think you gonna knock him out?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think he has a chance.
I gotta agree with your family, bro.
You agree? You agree,
Yeah,
Battle?
Yeah, I gotta agree with your family. I guess I'm rooting for Wilder because I want to see AJ and Wilder fight.
Well, yeah, that seems to be the logic for a lot of people. Like they would prefer.
I'm rooting for him because I'm American. That's why.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
rooting for America side, bro. America.
America, fuck yeah.
But you're Armenian when Mark Erosion is fighting.
Yeah. He had his Armenian, compadre over there pitching the shutout to be
Hey, did you guys see that robbery with the last Armenian fighter that fought Breedis?
Yeah, he lost.
Oh my god, that was such a robbery, bro. He fucked his ass up for like what, maybe 10 rounds. Lost 2 rounds out of the 10. Dirty fighting tactics for Breedis entire night. Fucking ridiculous, man. He got robbed straight up. And then they say why Armenians are not up in the head in sports, bro. It's because shit like this, bro. He was fucking his ass up.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I mean,
Playing the race card.
dude, he was landing straight, like everything he had on his chin. Breedis got a chin on him. He has a chin on him.
I'm confused by your picture. Are you using your chopstick to pick up some more chopsticks, bro?
Yeah, he is.
I'm picking some mushrooms up, bro. I'm trying to get that,
No, he eats his cereal with chopsticks. That's what he does.
Yeah. That's that Asian cereal.
Beautiful.
He eats his honeycomb.
And you eating Chinese food.
Fuck yeah. It's an American.
I eat my rice and beans with chopsticks too. So
What type
Have
of
you ever
rice?
tried eating cereal? Have you tried eating cereal with chopsticks? That's a task.
Yeah, boxing style.
I bet food's boxing style. I bet food's not the only thing you go to Chinatown for, bro?
Yeah.
How'd you know?
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
I bet you've been to Thailand about 7 times.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Come on.
I heard
You're getting a little bit out of line.
Thailand.
You're getting out of line, Stu. A little bit.
Little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I like getting out of line. Boxing style, he's always having a pop at me, so it's nice.
You get it out of line just a little bit.
Yeah, you're getting that. You insulted him a little bit. You insulted him a little bit.
There's a lot of tired people over here. You know what I mean?
You insulted him a little bit.
Yes. Get the fuck out of here.
I didn't insult nobody. That's the best part. He just insulted him to his face, and then he goes, "No, I didn't insult nobody. I didn't insult nobody."
Hey, don't get me upset now. I'll make a big fucking thing out of it.
All right, now listen. You can talk about rice and beans. You can talk about rice and beans and fucking Chinese food. Nothing beats a good old fry up.
Nothing beats what? Go ahead, BDA.
A fry up. A nice British fry up. You get your tomatoes, you get your bacon, you get your eggs, beans. I mean, come on. And the black pudding. That black pudding, you save that for last. Because that's the most delicious part.
Hey, Stu makes that for me all the time, bro. He sends it over.
Listen, mate, you cannot beat an English breakfast. And I reckon that's the reason we're tough. We're tough in the boxing ring. Even when we get beat, we put on a good show. And that's where it comes from, I think, the fried breakfast in the morning.
Let me ask you something.
Look at these. Go to Canada, they give you a croissant and an orange juice. I mean, what a breakfast.
You know what? If you eat, here's my question: if you eat fry up and then you vomit it, can you still tell the difference between the original and the vomit? I can't.
Oh God!
Repeat the question.
I'm curious. Are all the potatoes gonna be done in England for Thanksgiving? For the Irish people, they're gonna eat that.
That's
shit
Irish. Yeah, that's the Irish.
Yeah, that's the Irish.
Another group of lunatics. Yeah, all hooligans. I'll tell you this. When I was rewatching the Fury Klitschko fight, and I had forgotten how epic it was when Fury started singing, and the fans started singing along with him. That's what I love about British audiences. They will sing along to anything. Meanwhile, you go to the United States, everybody's sitting there quiet, afraid to say something. It didn't used to be that way. When Duran beat Davey Moore, people were singing happy birthday to him because it was his birthday. I mean, come on, that's what we need. We need more people, singing songs like they bring that football, soccer mentality,
Man, they made such a mistake with Davey Moore.
Sorry, hold on.
Man.
Yeah, they made a mistake. Sorry, Battle Rifle, what were you saying? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you were done, man.
No, I was just thinking about that beatdown, man. Every time the lead up to the fight was that, Duran was sort of kind of done in a way. Davey Moore was a prospect that they thought could probably pull it off. And obviously we saw what happened.
Yeah, there you go. Battle Rifle, what were you going to say?
Career.
Yeah, he ended the poor guy's career. Poor guy, man. Another Davey Moore who went down the drain. Battle Rifle, you were going to say something? I guess not.
That's his mind right there. It's all wind and shit.
Okay, come on, man. See, Boxing still has he has a put down for everything.
Damn, Battle. You got a little get away with that.
Yeah, you're gonna get a. What's this world coming to?
What is this world coming to? Come on, Battle.
Before we continue, we do have Apology Man on the line.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear. She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do. Your punishment must be more severe. I lost respect for all of you.
Bitches are stupid. I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
All right. Apology Man. Have you changed? Are you knee deep in college pussy right now, or what's going on?
I'm focused on my work like a good boy.
Yeah, right. I bet you're not digging into the books. You're digging into pussy, right? That's where your face is at right now.
Bet you he's not down with MGTOWN anymore.
Exactly.
Listen, of course I'm always down.
Was that?
Well,
I'm always down.
Hey, boxing style. Boxing. Apology. You still chasing them little Beckys at university?
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
That's the life I want to live.
People in the chat room are saying Apology is a good boy. Yeah, that's how they start. And then before you know it, he's eating ass.
Yeah, no. I'll never bring myself down to that level.
Well. You could tell Apology's been brought up well. He's been brought up by his mum and his dad in the same house. He's been brought up to be well-mannered. They've done a great job, Apology. Don't listen to all these boys.
Yeah, Apology. They did a great job. Now go out there and get some ass.
Exactly. Where do you think you came from? You think your parents were MGTOWs? Fuck no.
Well, it was a different time back then. You know what I'm saying?
What was it, the 1940s? Come on.
Women knew their place back then.
Yeah, tell us to.
All right, listen. I Apology. Maybe you didn't hear the story of there's this woman who was talking on the phone while driving, and she ran over this old dude. I think she murdered him, and she got I think she got probation or something.
Yeah, the pussy pass. Yeah, I saw that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's typical for a woman to get off lightly for a crime.
Let me tell you something. Fuck being transracial. I'm going transgender next time so I can get some of the pussy pass, man. Let me tell you. Because there's a couple of people that I want to run over, and that pussy pass is going to come in handy.
Yeah, I want to run over X, so I'll just put on a wig, put some boots on.
Yeah, put a wig on, you're good.
The good thing is you'll have your own restroom. You'll have your own restroom.
Yeah, I will. Or I can go into the ladies' restroom and say I'm a girl, and then whip my stuff out and start jerking.
I mean, where the fuck is this going, man?
You know,
I'm a girl, right? So I can do that.
I was thinking about this, right? Like, so with this whole I know it's boxing, but real quick, with the whole transgender thing, right? So basically, I don't have to get no surgery or anything. I can just say, look, I want to use the woman's bathroom because I'm a woman.
That's right.
I can just say that.
I think you have to get like a card. You have to change your gender on your like birth certificate, but that's about it.
So I could just go on there and say, listen, I want to be a woman, but act the way I act and look the way I look, and I just want to use the woman's bathroom. Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah,
sounds like a fantastic
they're doing that in
deal.
California. All you need to do is just walk into the doctor's room and say, "Yep, I'm a woman," and they'll say, "Yeah, all right."
You just walk in, you're like, where's the urinals at? I thought that was going to be urinals.
I just would like to go into the woman's bathroom where there's like a bunch of feminists and just whip it out. Be like, yeah, I know what you're thinking, but I'm a woman, bitch.
It's a masculine clitoris. It's not a penis. It's a masculine clitoris.
It's a 12. It's a 12-inch clitoris.
Yeah.
The best one is go to the local swimming pool, and then go to the local swimming pool, strip naked, just walk randomly into the women's showers, just sit there like that.
Already done. Already done.
Still, there's like a whole like 5 or 6 women in there taking a shower, and you just come in, right?
Yeah.
You just take your towel off, your thing is swinging. It's like, I know what you're thinking, ladies.
Like, you're like, sorry, I didn't realise. Sorry, ladies. After about a minute, sorry, ladies, I didn't realise it.
You know
I know
what the
what you're
trick is?
thinking. I'm a woman, all right. I know you're looking at down. You're looking down there, and you see a wang, but I'm a woman.
The trick is when you do that. The trick is to walk in like you deserve to be there. Because if you go in there shy or something, like they're gonna smell you right away. You gotta go in there confident, swinging your dick or whatever you got in between your legs, and just start going on about your day, and nobody will notice. And if somebody notices, they're the assholes. What?
If anybody says anything, you'll be like, God made him in his own image.
That's right.
Yeah, I recognize. Do you think low place will get away with it because it's mantis?
Oh, now why you gotta go there? Why do you have to go there? Come on.
I think you said. Time out. You might be right. I don't know.
I wonder who he's gonna go tell after this. He's probably gonna go. He's gonna call the cops. They're harassing me. They're harassing me. Do something about it.
He's got long hair too, so I don't know. Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just wear some makeup and he's good to go.
Oh, cry. All right, listen. The direction of this show is starting to sicken me.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back to boxing. Luis Ortiz. I gotta tell you, Luis Ortiz.
Yeah.
Was that?
Sorry, bro. No, go on.
All right.
Go on.
All right, I just wanted to say, Luis Ortiz. Reporters are going up to him a lot, asking him for his opinion on Wilder Fury, and he's saying, "I deserve a Wilder rematch to erase any fan doubts." Now, let me tell you this, or ask you: would you guys, let's say, the Fury fight fell off, and all of a sudden they said, "All right, you know what? We got Ortiz as a replacement, and the fight's going to be taking place 3 weeks after the fight was supposed to." Would you guys be interested in an Ortiz Deontay Wilder rematch, or is that just nah?
I mean,
I would. I would,
but I would be pissed because I would know that this is like, I don't know if that will happen, but don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
I would if Ortiz is taking his blood pressure medication.
Yeah, I like Ortiz better when he's taking his blood pressure medication. He might have a chance to knock him out.
They were, when he was in the, what was exactly Ortiz against Wilder before the fight? He was getting like a blood transfusion or something. What was going on? That's what I heard. No, or what?
He almost failed his physical. That's what happened. I think it was like the day of the fight or the night before. something happened where the fight was like, I forget what it was. There was some medical issue with Ortiz, and which goes to the this whole urban legend, like he's really 55 or some shit like that,
Well, yeah, didn't they have the defibrillator out in the back? They had it out. That's what I heard. They had to revive him.
Didn't Jimmy say that, obviously Jimmy's connected with boxing and all that, so he said that he heard that Ortiz is really like in his mid-40s, which would explain blood pressure. Like I know younger. Look, I'm sure there's younger people that have high blood pressure, but it's really around your mid-40s when that starts happening. So maybe there's some truth to that shit,
Yeah, because and listen, obviously we're joking around here about him being 45 years old, but let's consider that for a minute. If he's 45, he was outboxing fucking Deontay Wilder.
But
so my
we
question,
gotta give him credit, right? Like if he's 45, he's an amazing 45-year-old.
Exactly, especially since he was getting a blood transfusion before the fight. So I mean,
that would make him even more amazing.
Exactly.
Ortiz is pretty amazing, though. I think he is above 50, though. I don't think he's in his 40s, bro, for sure.
Nah, I don't think
he said.
Above 50? Come on.
Yeah, you're kidding, man. Come
50,
on.
Bro. From what are you guys talking about last time? I wasn't here for that podcast. What
no way he's 50,
he
over 50.
With Muhammad Ali?
That was bullshit.
He's over 50. Come on, man.
Dude, there's no way he saw Muhammad Ali beat fucking Sonny Liston.
You never know, bro. Some people, they look young.
Supposedly, he said that he watched Muhammad Ali knock out Sonny Liston, and that happened in the 60s, bro. Come on, there's no way he saw that.
You never know. No,
actually, you
might
do
be a
know.
time traveler, bro. You might be a time traveler.
I think he probably meant to say that. Of course, it was live. He thought it was live, but it wasn't really live.
Maybe.
Because
I think he watched a video.
He watched it must have been a rerun.
Yeah, no, not even a rerun. It was just like he was chilling at. Well, maybe he did. Maybe it was on TV. Because in Latin countries back then, I mean, I can even remember it in my time, like watching Roberto Duran fights a year after it happened in Puerto Rico. So that's like a common thing, and well, not now because with the internet and everything, but back then that was pretty common, like in the islands.
He could have been one of those guys. You seen that Mike Tyson Holyfield, the guy with a cell phone in the?
Oh yeah.
He could have been one of those guys, man. Back in the time travel.
By the way,
I don't believe that video.
These conspiracies are too far fetched, man. It's just like.
It is pretty crazy though. That motherfucker did actually look like he had a cell phone in his head. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" That looks like a cell phone.
There was a newspaper article that someone was showing on YouTube I think it was in the 50s, and it's like a guy talking on a cell phone. You guys ever seen that?
Yeah, I did see that. It was from,
I've seen that one. Yeah, it's weird. They probably just photoshopped it. They probably photoshopped it.
All right, first of all, who's doing
pictures of people that don't belong? Like the way they dress is not like belonging in where they're at. Like the time period they're at.
Somebody's doing
they
coke
look like
in the
they're
background.
belonging like in the 20s and 21st century.
I seen a guy in a picture in the 50s, but he was a hippie. I was like, that's not right. They photoshopped that because you know how everybody is.
All right, recognize. Can you mute your mic, please, man? Because
sorry about that, man. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I call bogus on all of them, though.
You ever notice how a lot of pictures in the 50s, everybody around them looks really grainy, like they have a bunch of sand on their skin?
What?
The guy was okay. You ever looked at like a pictures like from the 50s or the 60s?
Right. Yeah.
You know how they're like extremely grainy. Like if you look at the people's skin, it looks like they have a bunch of sand on them.
Yeah, but that's because of the photograph, right? That's the
yeah. But the guy in the picture who looked like he was a hippie, his skin was like really clear, and I was like, that's not right. That's Photoshop.
Yeah, that's one giveaway right there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like so the 50s and the 60s or whatever, they have a signature that you can tell it's from that. And when you see something different, you know it's Photoshop.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the
so,
thing. Yeah,
but this picture that I saw of the cell phone, you guys seen it too. That shit look real.
yeah, I've seen that one. Listen, you know what? Let's pull it up just to.
You know what they say though, the technology back in it, like the military has technology to 20, 30 years in advance, so or more than that, you never know.
And actually, yeah, that's what they.
Maybe that's a possibility.
It's a high possibility. I mean, not even the military. It's probably the public sector. They keep that shit hidden away because, unlike the military, they're not obligated to divulge it. So, by the way, there we go. There was the world's first mobile phone, and this was from a 1938 film. And you can see a woman there talking on the phone. And then you get an. Okay, that's not one of them. But yeah, anyway, that's the conspiracy theory. That's time travelers. All right, now listen. All right, I'm hearing echo here. What's going on? Who's got their headphones or their speakers on?
That's my bad.
Don't worry about it. It's Thanksgiving. All right, now listen. Let's get back to boxing here for a minute. All right, you guys want to keep talking about Tyson Fury, or you want to talk? Because some people in the chat room were saying they wanted to talk about Broner.
I want to say a prayer to Broner versus Pacquiao because I think he's not going to be the same afterwards. I feel bad for that kid, man. Like seriously, we should all say a prayer to Broner.
You think he's gonna get beat up?
I think he's gonna be really badly beat up, bro. I hope he doesn't end up like disabled or something like that.
More like he's already.
Bro, shit you not, man. The Pacquiao, what he did to Lucas Matisse.
Let's be clear here. Broner has been beat like what 4 times? I think he's lost 4 times, but he's never really took like a crazy deal of punishment. Like if we talk,
he might for this one, bro. He might for this one.
I will have more confidence saying that if this was like 2 or 3 years ago, but I don't know about now.
Dude, he is slow. Have you seen his pad work? It's ridiculous. Like
no, I wouldn't be
his...
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, boxing styles, if he beats him. Like he outboxes him, beats him up a little bit. But I'm saying like I would have more confidence that in what you were saying, like he just totally demolishes him. If it was like maybe 3 years ago. 2015.
Even dude, Pacquiao is on some hardcore shit. I don't know what he's on. He's on some the hardcore of hardcore shit. That motherfucker is 41 years old, and on top of which, his skill, his experience on. You could add up with that speed. That's just not going to be good for Broner. I don't care if they do VADA or whatever they do. It's not going to even work out. It's just. I mean, that's going to be in his system by the time the fight happens.
That's true, yeah. Well, let's see.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
So does Broner try to walk Pacquiao down, or do you think he's gonna try to box him the way Mayweather did? Like, how do you think he tries to do that shit?
Don't walk him down. He'll get caught.
I agree.
don't think you should walk him down.
Yeah, I think
saw what
Pacquiao.
happened to Lucas Matisse. He went blind after a few shots, bro. That's not cool. And the motherfucker, you know what I mean? The motherfucker is gonna. Broner has a better chin than Lucas Matisse, obviously. And and if he keeps getting punished like that, it's gonna be in the later rounds, and he's gonna get KO'd. I do believe he's gonna get killed, but it's gonna be in the later rounds, and by then he's gonna be pretty fucked up, really fucked up. And I hope he's not all kinds of fucked up to the point where he can't box no more, or you know what I mean.
I think I do. I'm gonna tell you. If Pacquiao wins this fight, I'm wondering who they're gonna put him up against. But Broner, somebody put up a video on Twitter. I think it was Butcher retweeted of Broner doing the pad work, and he's doing the classic Mayweather pad, like leaning back, doing a little dodge there, here and there. I'm thinking, what the? I mean, I know that works the reflexes, but I'm really wondering what the fuck he's gonna try to do in there against Pacquiao, because like recognize it, if he tries to walk him down, Pacquiao's just going to keep turning him the way he does to everybody that tries to pressure him. And if he tries to box Pacquiao, I don't see Broner being able to do what Mayweather did, which is to keep him on the outside, keep him turning. Or maybe he can. I don't know. Like who wants to chime in on that one? Somebody.
The only person that's going to walk down anybody is going to be Pacquiao. He's going to hit him a couple times, and Broner's just going to be like, oh shit, I can't. I don't want to. He's going to hesitate anything he does after that, and he's just going to counter him. Do whatever he feels like. You know how Pacquiao fights, bro. Everybody knows how Pacquiao fights. Well, his
Right.
style just changed though with that Lucas Matisse. I saw something different in him. I saw a little more stability, a little more timing, picking his shots better. He puts a lot of power behind his punches. So I mean, they say Lucas Matisse ain't shit, but so is Broner. You know what I mean? He's not that fast compared to Lucas Matisse. There's the speed wise, they're pretty much the same. Just Broner's a little more tougher. That's the difference.
Now you said that Broner might end up not being the same after his like mentally. I don't know. I think he's already lost his mind, so I don't think he's losing much.
I know. I'm talking
but,
about like slurs, speeches, all kinds of stuff. Like
again, I
like
think he already
like
lost
Hearn,
all
you know,
this shit.
like Hearn. That's what I'm talking about. That's the point. I'm getting.
I don't know. Look, listen. Pacquiao looked good against Matisse. He looked like shit against Horn. And I know people are going to say that was because Horn was allowed to do the dirty shit, which he was allowed to do it. And it was disgusting. But maybe that's raises the question. Maybe that's what Broner should be doing. Trying to walk Pacquiao down after you hold him, hit him on the clinch, hit him low, couple of elbows here and there.
I think with Jeff Horn, he took him lightly. A school teacher, undefeated. He took him very lightly. He joked with him. And then when he saw that he was losing the fight, he wasn't really losing. It was kind of like a 3 rounds. And then after that, it was just him all the entire time, Pacquiao. He just started beating the shit out of him after the 6th round. He won the fight, obviously. But the thing is, some people don't look at it that way. But I think he took him lightly. He wasn't serious with him. But with Lucas Matisse, it was like, it was pretty much like, fuck that. I ain't going to let that shit happen to me the second time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe he learned something from that. But by the way, Overhand in the chat room says Broner tried to suck in his gut in the press conference. Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed a bit of a gut protruding through the shirt. I don't know if Broner's taking this fight. I mean, he's the type of guy that he always looks chubby in between fights, and then when he comes in, he's what weight is this fight taking place in? Catch weight or welterweight, like full on welterweight? Anybody got the answer to that?
It's gonna be welterweight, man. I don't think it's gonna be 140 or anything between 140 and 147.
And by the way, the big news is that supposedly Pacquiao is going back to Roach.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I heard.
Maybe I think that's the good move, man. I think that's a good move because Buboy or whatever his name is, I think he's more focused on eating than on training Pacquiao. I mean, you never want to have a fat guy in your training camp because then you see him eating fast food and burgers and hot dogs, and you're there trying to make weight. I mean, it's not good for morale. Is what I'm trying to say.
You can't have
The good state for the fighters, and he be eating a lot sometimes.
I mean, Pacquiao's not that like big, so he could make weight anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Well,
you
especially
can't have
with
two
what he's
coaches
taking.
at the same time, though. You could have them next to each other. You get a pointer from one, you get a pointer from the other. It's not like you have one with not the other.
Well, did you see that the face-off? Pacquiao's got a bigger head.
He couldn't look at Brennan without laughing. Yeah, he couldn't look at Brennan without laughing. I think he knows Brennan's a joke. That's why.
Oh
man, Broner's
he does that all the time in face off.
Broner's rubbing off on me. I'm starting to like Broner.
Yeah, but Pacquiao, he's just like that. He's never taken it that serious. I think the only person he was kind of serious with is the Pacquiao and the Bradley rematch when Bradley was just like, I'm just gonna knock you out. And he was like, we're gonna see in the ring and stuff like that. But he's usually always like that.
Yeah, that's true. Pacquiao's always all smiles and grinning. Kind of looks a little bit like he's not all there. Looks like. I'm not saying he's not all there, but I'm just saying he looks like.
I hope that he comes in all happy and shit, takes him lightly, because he doesn't.
So you rooting for Broner?
I'm not rooting for Broner. I'm not rooting for any one of them, actually. I don't really care.
I don't know about that.
I'm picking Pac to win that fight for sure.
Sounds to me like you're rooting for Broner. You like his style. You like his panache. You like his Instagram videos. Come on.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Speaking of Instagram and drama, last week I heard you guys talking about Errol Spence against Crawford and how they finally met face to face and they threw the challenge down. Because here's the thing, guys. these fighters, don't get it twisted. They have their ego. And when they hear people talking about, oh, you're avoiding this guy or you're avoiding that guy, they take it a bit seriously. And once they get face to face, it's the starting block towards the fight. Well, we got that a little bit. We didn't get them face to face, but we did get Jarrett Hurd. According to Boxing Scene, he says about Charlo, he's worried about me. He is mentally done. Now, you know the Charlos, they take this shit seriously. They don't take unkind words lightly.
Which Charlo? Which Charlo? You talking about the Jermel?
Well, listen, I always get those two confused, but I'm assuming he's talking about the junior middleweight one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got confused. Hurt is in the 154.
So he called him out.
Jermel is middleweight.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
So the gauntlet's been thrown, and hopefully we do get... And by the way, Showtime put up a video called Day in Camp, and it's an 18-minute video with Jarrett Hurd. Like, they just follow him around and everything. He wakes up, Jarrett Hurd, and he goes, well, the first thing after I wake up is I step on the scale. He steps on the scale, 170. 170-poundaroos. This guy, another light heavyweight, another light heavyweight hiding down a junior middleweight, him and Goro, or as people like to call him, Munguia. Those two motherfuckers are light heavyweights hiding at junior middleweight. I don't like that. But then again, let's take a look at the picture here of Charlo and Jarrett Hurd standing side to side. Jarrett Hurd's not a small guy. And you look at him with those dirty armpits there. I mean, this guy needs to get some deodorant or something. But anyway, Jarrett Hurd, he looks shit. I mean,
you need to get what?
Some deodorant or some what do they call it? Perspirant or whatever the fuck. But look at Jarrett Hurd.
Antidepressant, something like that.
Maybe it's the coke. Yeah, maybe it's the coke.
Antidepressants for your armpit. Yeah, I've heard
that. Yeah, it's the weed, man. It's the weed. It's the coke making him crazy and shaking all the time, making him sweat.
It's the coke. It's giving him heart palpitations, and so he starts sweating. That's what. Like the Punisher says. The Punisher said that in the chat room. He says, "Good one." Actually, he's saying, "Crack makes you sweat." Anyway, listen. That's not the point. The point that I'm trying to make is the point that I'm trying to make. Jarrett Hurd looks he looks a good size bigger than Charlo, and Charlo's not a small dude. So, what do you guys think about that fight? The best fight to make at 154?
I think Jarrett Hurd is going to win. And the thing is, even then, I say it's kind of a toss-up. It's kind of like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford for me. It's really I favor a guy, but slightly. Like I put it like 55-45. It wouldn't surprise me if one guy goes out there and just pulls a complete different. Okay, if Jarrett Hurd just outboxes him for like 9 to 10 rounds, okay, that would be shocking for me. That would be if he does like a 116, 112, or like a 115, 113. That would shock me. But
I have no doubt that Charlo's gonna lose that fight. I'll bet on
Boxing Style, you gotta stop interrupting people, man. I don't think Boxing Rifle was finished.
No, he can go ahead. He can go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was already done. That's why I intervened. So
shut up!
I don't think
you don't contradict me.
I don't think there's a chance that Jermel, his brother, can. I see his brother can pull it off with Hurd, but him, not so much, man. He's too stiff for me. He's too stiff for me.
I don't think he'll handle the pressure. Go ahead.
And he doesn't have a lot of tools in his shit. Hurd has a lot more than what people think he does.
If he takes some antidepressants, do you think that could help? Or
no, he needs to get off the coke. That will help him.
All right, go ahead. Apology. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. Basically, I don't think he'll handle the pressure of Hurd. Like, Jamal's not the biggest punch in the world. Plus, he's not good on his back foot, so I don't think he'll handle the pressure of Hurd at all.
All right. First of all, before we continue, I see we got because I want to talk about what you just said. But before we continue, we got Precise on the line.
depending upon how you interpret the data.
What's up with all the transvestites in Hollywood, though?
Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
That's right. You gotta have standards. Now, speaking of standards, Precise, thank you for being on the show. Please tell me you're celebrating Thanksgiving even though you're in Ecuador. Come on.
I am.
There you go. There you go. You gotta eat some turkey. Keep that keto diet going. No leafy vegetables for you, but plenty of gravy.
That.
Yeah, that's right. Turkey, man. Gotta keep that shit going. All right, so hold on. I just wanted to mention something Apology said about Charlo not being able to fight backing up. Which Charlo was it, the one that outboxed Gabriel Rosado? Was it the middleweight one or was it the...
It was Jamel. Jamel is the 154 one.
So he outboxed Rosado, right?
Yeah.
All right, so he did it on the back foot. And I know Rosado's not Jared Hurd, but I mean, where did this come from that Charlos can't fight backing up?
Oh, to be honest, to be fair, almost every single encounter I've seen with Jamel, he mostly fights on the back foot, but he can fight forward. He's really fighting on a. Okay, let me just break it down. Jamal, in my opinion, is the better of the Charlos. He can fight going forward and he can fight going back, but within reason. He can do it against somebody. He can do it against somebody like a let's say a Tony Harris or somebody, or like a Danny Jacobs. He can fight going forward and backward, but I haven't seen him really get pushed to the limit. Like if he were to face somebody like a Triple G, would he be able to move back and then outbox him? I don't know if he can do that. I haven't seen that from him. So I'm just going to say until he shows me, I'm not sure he's the best on the back foot. Okay, what if he was fighting somebody who can really box on the back foot? Like what if he was fighting like a Billy Joe Saunders? Could he really chase him down and outbox him? I haven't seen that from him either. The thing is with Jamel fights always on the back foot, but he's definitely like needs some work because in my opinion that Matt Rosen fight was really close and Gabriel Rosado was touching him up a good bit. So the thing is, he has power, he has speed, and the good reason why people can't just walk in on him because he hits so hard. But the thing is, he's extremely timid. You can see on the front foot that's really not his strong suit. He can fight a little on the strong suit, but it's really not his strong suit. You can see John Jackson just boxing this guy's head off before he knocked him out. So as far as on the back foot, let's say he got in there with what's a good pressure fighting 154 pounder? Jared Hurd. I'm not sure he could really do it, but like I said, he has good power, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes out there and just stop Jared Hurd in his tracks. But as far as boxing on the back foot, he's definitely not the best. I think the person who's the best at boxing on the back foot at 154 is Tony Harrison. And Tony Harrison is going to fight Jamel next, but I don't think he would beat him because his chin is not as good. Right. So that's my take on it.
Well, yeah, it's a good take, and because the question is about Jared Hurd. He just walks through everybody. He walked through Austin Trout's shot. He walked through Lara's shots, which I wasn't entirely sure he was going to be able to do. So the question is, can Charlo hurt him enough to keep him off of him? Precise, you just got here. What is your take on this potential fight?
Hurd versus Charlo?
Yeah, the 154-pound Charlo.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I'd be leaning toward Hurd pretty heavily. Does he have enough power? I mean, anybody has enough power. I don't think he'd be able to.
I just want to respond to this guy in the chat. He talking about some this guy sound like a casual. Charlo Jamel fights on the back foot. Yes, he does. He fights almost exclusively on the back foot. You may have got your Charlos mixed up, bro.
Well, who said that?
Talking about Scholar B Major. He talking about he fights balance. He fights in the pocket and makes you come to him standing in range. Okay, then why did he fight that way with Monta Rosen? Why did he fight that way with Gabriel Rosado? He didn't stand in the pocket. So
sounds like he's pretty educated. Scholar.
Scholar B Major, yeah. Hey, didn't Scholar B Major call you a fag, Battle Rifle?
I don't know. I don't know if
I'm
he did. I just did. I rather read the comments, but
I'm kidding. I'm just starting to try some shit.
BDA wants some action.
Yes. I want a little fight here. No, he didn't call you a fag. But listen, Jared Hurd, it's not fair to either. That's what I hate about this. He stepped on the scale. He goes, 170 pounds. That's good. What do you mean that's good? You're fighting 154. You weigh 170. No dignity, no respect. Come on. Especially now it's Thanksgiving. It's a holiday to reflect upon the good and the bad. And obviously he doesn't seem concerned with the fact that he's a light heavyweight fighting down a junior middleweight. But then again, that's neither here nor there. All right, so you guys are saying that you would favor Hurd over this Charlo, the one with the sweaty armpits. But how about Hurd versus 160-pound Charlo?
Hurd, slightly.
Nah, I have Jamal. Jamal, in my opinion, would just like jab it. He would jab his face off, but I'm not just one of them people who would just say he would just get destroyed. I think that Jared Hurd would still give him a good fight because he has a really hard chin. He comes in and he's gonna one way or another touch you up. The only person I just don't think he's gonna like really touch up. He might touch him up a little bit in spurts, but I feel like he would just get decapitated if he fight. Is somebody like Canelo, because his combinations are just too good. He would just get broken down to like oblivion.
Anyway, as I was saying, I think I would pick Hurd because I think at 160 he's going to be a lot stronger. He's probably struggling to make 154, and if you can't hurt him at 154,
beat Jamal Charlo?
And my little sister could beat Jamal Charlo. Anyway, I think.
Wait a minute.
I think I would pick Hurd because I just think he's going to be that much more of a beast. I think he has to be hurting himself to make 154. And at 160, he's going to take a better punch. His stamina is going to be better. He's going to be hitting harder. He's just, I don't know. He's just a specimen. And I think his defense is underrated. Like, yeah, he gets touched, but he doesn't really get touched very cleanly too much.
I do know more than you, Scholar. And Rick Rock, what the heck is a poon? Can you spell?
Rick Rock said rifle is a poon. Yeah, what the hell is that?
I don't know what that is, bro. He just making up stuff now. He made up his own urban dictionary word. He about to type that bit on right now so it can be saved.
Well, you can see Battle Rifle is making himself some fans in the chat room. Just want to touch on what Precise said about the defense. It's true that Jared Hurd, here's the thing. You get some fighters sometimes that they can flash some defense in certain spots, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're getting hit super flush in the fucking face. Nonito Donaire comes to mind.
Yeah.
And
he just doesn't care, man. He's so strong against these guys. He's
extremely inconsistent, bro. Like it's been so many fights where I think he's just gonna knock somebody out. He doesn't do it at all.
I think if you hit him hard and he feels your power, then we're gonna see his best defense. You know what I mean? I think it's one of those instances.
Are you guys talking about Hurd or who? Donaire.
Jesus, pay attention, boxing style. What are you doing?
I was off a little bit. I was off a little bit. It's just turkey over here.
Right. Blame the turkey, man. Listen, don't blame the turkey, actually.
Delicious.
Don't blame the turkey, you fucking... Listen.
But yeah, like I said, Jamel, he's good on the back foot, but he's definitely not the greatest. The greatest on the back foot is Tony Harrison and Jared Hurd. And Jamel Charlo. I feel like the person who can just give him the most trouble is Jared Hurd because he's just not going to stop coming. I feel like the people who fought Jamel Charlo, who can take his punch, like Mata Rosen and Gabriel Rosado, their offense is extremely limited. Gabriel Rosado, he can come at you all day unless you're like David Lemieux. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, his offense is extremely limited. He doesn't really throw anything but like a 1-2.
Look, bro, Mata Rosen fucked the shit out of Charlo, all right?
Here we go.
Let's get that straight. You got to rewatch that fight. I'm not talking because I'm a Norman. Because he busted his ass up, all right? He didn't bust his ass up. He outboxed him. Let's just say that much. He outboxed him.
It was close, but I thought Vandes won that fight, but it was close.
I didn't look at it as close. I saw that. The only fight that I saw close was Andrade. That was it. That was the only one that I saw. It was really close.
See, I didn't think that one was close, actually.
I don't think that one was close either. I say Jamel was close.
I don't see Jamel close, man. I clearly saw Varnes beating him by like at least 9 rounds, and they just like gave it to him, and you could see the expression on Charlo's face. It's like, damn, I was gifted this one.
But I don't think Andre lost more than 3 rounds, if that, in that fight. But that's just.
But he lost. To me, you have to really watch it. I mean, the knockdown and everything else, he lost about 5 rounds, and Varnes won 7. And they were not counting all the shit that fucking Varnes was laying on his ass. He didn't count it. They're like, oh, they were anytime Johnny landed something like, oh, did you see that? HBO commentators, bro.
I mean, what do you expect? Like, Varnes is not the house fighter.
Pretty much. But it was a close fight, and it's not bad to give it to Andrade for a very close fight like that. I don't. But the Charlo one was ridiculous. Charlo, he clearly won that fight. There was no doubt about it.
The French.
All right, listen.
What's up?
Yes, I heard some like singing in someone's background. Is that you bots and stuff?
I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea.
Okay, listen. Fucking Charlo, I think they're good fighters. Both guys, both brothers. But they need to stop doing coke. I mean, I'm not saying, actually, let's scratch that. They should stop engaging in negative behavior. Because I don't know if they're doing coke or not. But let me tell you something. You live in California for 10 years, you get to know people who do coke, all right? So I think the Charlos need to get their act together, focus on boxing. And who was it? Was it Recognize the Matrix or Jimmy who was talking about the Charlos being with in the gym there in Texas with Ronnie Shields, and that supposedly there's some very nasty stuff going on there. So again, it's just a rumor, but let's keep that into consideration right there. That they need they may be having the Tank Davis behavior, when they get in trouble in their hometown. I hope not, because they're good fighters, the Charlos.
Every now and then, they're cokeheads. Both of them are cokeheads, but every now and then the older brother decides not to take it. He goes abstinent for a couple of days, and the younger brother's still on that shit. And you can see the younger brother all erratic and shit, but the older brother's all calm, steady and shit.
I'm more inclined to believe that nigga Gervonta Davis on coke, man, than the Charlo brothers.
What's with the N-word, first of all? We're trying to be an inclusive show.
You know what I mean? It's as a slang term. But
there's no difference for me, man, whether you do it with an A or an R. Listen, as a transracial man,
it's the R, the hard R is the offensive one. The A is
no. I disagree. I'm a transracial person. I can speak on this. It hurt me. Like right now, when you said it, if you would have said it to my face, we would have a problem. Let's just put it that way. All right. Now listen.
Yeah, and we'll have to solve it.
Exactly.
What did he say? What did he say? Couldn't hear him. What did he say?
He said nigga, like A with the A.
I heard the R, man. I heard the R.
Let's just move on. Gervonta Davis is probably a bigger cokehead.
I don't think any of them have any class, to be honest. Whatever they're on, none of them have any class, man. They're just a bunch of fucking hood rats.
They're all cokeheads. All of them.
They're just, I don't know.
I got no problem with cokeheads. As long as you perform.
There are plenty of good people that do cocaine recreationally and they don't act the fool. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's illegal.
Like who?
It's against. It's not like mob and stuff.
Is that BDA?
I just get that. No, I think that was that precise? Was that the joke?
I'm clean.
Why the heck would I be sniffing something?
Somebody got allergies.
It was about 4 precise. It's one of them too.
I was on mute, bro.
Allergies to turkeys, man. Somebody got allergies to turkeys. Is that what it is?
Well, he's in Ecuador. He's in Ecuador, so he's probably getting that Sosa product right there. Speaking of coke, Oscar De La Hoya he's still trying to pull off that Chuck Liddell versus what's his name, Tito Ortiz fight, and apparently people are giving him shit for he kept referring to Chuck Liddell as Chuck Liddell, and then they asked him about the undercard.
The whole press conference was shit, man.
How many times have they fought, man? They were fighting. Have you guys seen Cradle to the Grave?
Which one is that one again?
The movie with Jet Li and Tom Arnold. It got Anthony Anderson in it. It got DMX
in
it.
Yeah.
Bro, even they are fighting in that movie. Literally, I just seen that movie the other day. I just rewatched it. How many times have they fought already?
Well, this is gonna be the third time, I think.
Wow, it feels like they've been fighting more than that.
Well, listen, to put it.
Yeah, you know who Oscar's rooting for though, right?
Who?
Mr. Tito Ortiz, bro.
The money. He's
Tito
rooting for the
Liddell.
money.
Tito
He's rooting for
Liddell.
the money.
Tito
No,
Liddell.
that too, but he's also rooting for Tito Ortiz. I mean, like, let's be honest. We know who he's rooting for. It's Oscar
Now,
De La
do
Hoya.
you have?
Hey,
That's a
man,
pretty strong allegation.
That's his normal hair color.
That's a pretty strong allegation there, Boxing Style. I think you're projecting Boxing Style. I think because you root for the Armenian all the time, you expect everybody else to root for their own race.
It's not like that. I don't care less if an Armenian loses a fight. It's just I know this because it's obvious. Like you can't pronounce his name right, bro. Lydell. Come on, bro.
So that's the giveaway. That's the dead giveaway for you, huh?
Chuck lie down.
Pretty much.
And by the way, just to put things into perspective here, De La Hoya is 45 years old. Chuck Liddell is 48. So he's been around for quite a while. Yeah. And that's the fight.
Why are they fighting again?
Money. De La Hoya wants to break into MMA.
Chuck Liddell during his heyday, during the Pride years, was a beast, man. Chuck Liddell, if he fought like John Jones nowadays, I keep saying it, but people don't believe me. If he fought the John Jones that we have today, the prime Chuck Liddell of Pride, well, he would have beaten him, bro. That motherfucker
would have gotten slept.
He would have knocked
he would have gotten slept, bro.
He got knocked out by Rashad Evans, that left hook, man. The thing is with John Jones, let me take that back. John Jones is not the best striker when it comes to hands. It's usually like his kicks. I think he would just sleep him with a kick like he did Daniel Cormier.
Dude, you have seen his chin?
That caveman style isn't gonna work on John Jones.
Why wouldn't it work?
It would. He just kick his legs out just nice, man.
Dude, he has a hell of a chin. That guy had a massive chin, Chuck Liddell. It just wore off over time from all the crazy fights he was in. You know, he knocked out what's his fucking name, the heavyweight.
Chuck Liddell get slept, man.
What's his name? The heavyweight that Alistair Overeem. He knocked out Alistair Overeem during the Pride years, bro. He fucked him up, and Alistair Overeem hit him with a lot of good shots.
But Overeem's not as good as Jones, man. Overeem's not good as Jones.
Didn't Overeem get knocked out by that guy who was dating Ronda Rousey? I think he just flicked his feet at him and he just went down.
Yeah, he did.
He flicked his feet at him and he just went down. I was like, oh, crap.
Well, Overeem's not as good a striker as John Jones. In fact, I think they sparred.
It's hard. In my opinion, John Jones, his striking is good, but his hand striking is not as good as a lot of people's. It's not as good as people like I know he's a.
I think DC has better combinations than Jones. But Jones,
he's lucky. He's lucky that DC is a short dude, man. If DC was a tall dude,
John Jones, he gets away with his length a lot. That's why he had so many problems with Gustafsson.
Yeah, that's true. But that's why I don't think Chuck Liddell will beat him because of the length, man.
Chuck Liddell's pretty goddamn tall, bro. Where he's like 6 something.
Yeah, but John Jones' reach is insane.
He also has a reach too. I mean, it's not like he doesn't, and he's fought guys with reach too. I know what I'm talking about. Chuck Liddell got that shit, bro.
He rarely has he faced somebody as long as John Jones and as strong as John Jones. John Jones is a wrestler as well, so you can't just rush.
Tito, you think fucking thing is Chuck Liddell isn't a wrestler? You think he's a wrestler? He beat Randy Couture on the ground, bro. He beat him. He went easy on Randy Couture too, from what he told me.
Yeah, but the thing is,
John Jones is much more than Couture.
The guy's rear naked chokes. What other submissions is Randy Couture good at?
John Jones is a lot more dynamic on the ground, man.
As far as submissions goes, besides rear naked chokes, can he put somebody in an arm bar or triangle choke as easily? Because I don't think he can.
Yes, he can. He does whatever it's open. That fool it's a Hall of Famer. Randy Couture ain't no joke. He went to the heavyweight.
Of course he's
a light heavyweight.
Randy Couture.
I think he fought more weight divisions than anyone else.
I don't think he
think he's the only guy that almost like never tapped. Has he ever tapped?
I don't think so. I
He's
never heard of him tapping.
Yeah, I don't think he never tapped. But
if you compare Randy Couture's ground game and John Jones is way more dynamic. And he's got better strike on the
Look,
ground
I like
as well.
John Jones. I like John Jones, but John Jones fought a lot of guys on their slide. Lyoto Machida was on his slide. Shogun on his top was not on his top when he was fighting in UFC. He was on his slide. Rampage
what about
was
Victor?
on his slide. Who else?
Belfort.
A bunch of other, except for Rashad Evans. Rashad Evans was on his prime, but he went 5 rounds with him. And
he beat Johnson in his prime.
Who?
Johnson.
Who the fuck was Johnson?
Anthony Johnson, didn't he beat Anthony Johnson?
No. He never fought. They never fought each other. So DC is the only guy who's legitimately in his prime that he beat him.
And Goss as well. And Goss, don't
it's
forget
just
Goss.
styles make fights, and he beat him in that fashion. I mean, I guess he's the shorter guy, but because DC has better stand up.
Well, he wasn't favored. He wasn't favored to win against that one guy. Remember the first time they really seen John Jones in the UFC? It was who was it? Isn't it the guy who fought Forrest Griffin?
Shogun. Shogun Hua.
No. Stephen Bonner. It was the first time I think they seen John Jones in UFC. I think he fought Stephen Bonner.
Yeah, I think that was his first fight prior to the Shogun fight, or no. I think he had 2 fights. Anyway, listen.
Even Shogun in his prime would have probably give a number or 2 to John Jones, but that was not his prime Shogun.
I'm telling you, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. He got beat the same way, man.
It was never the same after he got to UFC. He got his ass. He was not the same. He's just not the same guy.
I know, guy, but still, he would have got beat easily.
I'm not saying he wouldn't have got beat. I think he would have got beat too because the leverage and shit that John Jones has over Shogun. But Chuck Liddell's that one guy that I don't believe that he probably would have beaten him because Chuck Liddell had that chin, had that grit, had everything. Like he had that power. He would have been a nightmare for somebody like John Jones.
A chin though. I mean, how many times has he been knocked out? He's been knocked out numerous times, bro. And I'm not.
No, he's been knocked out. He's been knocked out after he started getting his slide, and Rampage was the first guy to knock his ass out, and that was Rampage prime Rampage, I guess. And then after a few more fights, he was never prime after that. He was like
Chuck Liddell
after like the Dan Anderson fight.
Is Chuck Liddell part? Is Chuck Liddell part Armenian or something? Like, why are you rooting for him so much, man?
No, I'm not rooting for him. I'm a fan, but I'm not like a big fan. I just believe that he could do it just off the style. That's all it is.
All right. Well, listen. We started this show with Tyson Fury, cokehead, to the Charlos, probable cokeheads. I don't know. I'm not throwing it slander out there. Now we're talking about John Jones, another confirmed cokehead. So I suppose we should be talking about clean fighters right now before we leave. This Saturday, Bivol versus Jean Pascal. It's a bit of a letdown for Bivol to fight Jean Pascal. I mean, if Alvarez was able to out-jab Pascal, I can't imagine what Bivol's going to do. What do you guys think? I mean, first of all, is this the last HBO fight? Has this been confirmed, or is there going to be another one after this?
I thought the Danny Jacobs fight was the last one.
Apparently not, man.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, well, their Bivol Jean Pascal is going to be HBO.
Oh. What the fuck?
All right, so apparently,
yeah.
Apparently, I'm looking at ESPN here. Apparently, it is the last one, and Overhand says the Chocolatito fight is the last one. So when is that? That's in December, or anyway? Listen, that's inconsequential right now. What I want to focus on is Bivol, because he's going to be fighting Jean Pascal. A bit of a stay busy fight, unless Jean Pascal can somehow recapture some of what made him a top contender at the light heavyweight division so many years ago. And then, of course, we have Adonis Stevenson, taking on Alexander Gvozdyk. I'm very excited about that one. So before the end of the year, we're going to have the pieces moving in the light heavyweight division. What do you guys think? Bivol good enough to beat everybody in the division, or still not sold on him?
I think so.
I think so as well. Judging by his skills, he's No, he looks like the real deal. The only problem is when he gets hit on, if he gets hit on the chin by a big shot, like, I haven't seen that from him yet. But like maybe like a Kovalev or a Stevenson, or like a really hard puncher.
So you want to see him?
I think Bivol is the closest thing to Usyk. That's the closest thing to Usyk size-wise, because Lomachenko is on a whole different level. So,
okay, what the hell's going on in the background?
What?
We got the.
There's that one your kid
that was family. That was family. That was family.
That sounded like somebody. All right. Yeah. I don't know. You got to stay away from the living room, man. We're trying to have a podcast here.
Yeah, tell him to get out.
Yeah, tell him to get the fuck out, man.
Tell your mom to get out.
That was actually my grandma.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't joke around about the Holocaust with her. I mean, the genocide.
Dude, BDA.
What I'm saying, don't joke around about it with her. I'm being straight here, not trying to joke around.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
All right, listen.
Fuck.
Let's stick to Bivol here, please. Let's stick to boxing. So, Boxing Style is saying that Bivol is the closest thing to Usyk. I think that's what he was trying to say. Anybody else? Like, I want to hear somebody else's thought on this.
I don't see him as much as Usyk. I mean, there's some similarities, but I see him more similar to Triple G, if anything, like pressure and then counter punching, like aggressive counter puncher. And he throws a lot of like combinations when he sees the opening.
So do you think
to me he's like Sergey at 1.5 the speed, you know what I mean? Just like he has a better motor. But he fights a lot like Sergey to me.
But without the
same
power,
Russian
right?
style. Huh?
But
without the vodka? What?
Without the power, no, without the power.
He's got power, but not every shot is as powerful as Cavalios, obviously. But he's got good power. He carries it late too, you know.
Was that?
I don't think he puts a lot of emphasis on putting power. It's more skill. He has power though. He has a lot of power.
I think he's like, he wants to hit you. I think that's the most important thing, hitting you or wearing you down. Like the power will come as the rounds progress.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he doesn't. And Boxing Style said that as well. Like he doesn't sit. But then again, even Kovalev, I never really saw him planting his.
He just got heavy hands, man. That dude just.
Yeah, he does.
Ah, shit! Everybody dropped off.
Yeah, that was my gram saying stop smoking.
All right, so people dropped off. I want to hear who was talking at the end before everybody dropped off. I think it was Precise. All right, now we got somebody with a webcam on there. Who is it? Okay, we got Apology back, we got Bottle Rifle back, and we got Precise back. All right, Precise, you were saying?
Have you guys ever seen this Russian training video? These Russian boxers training in this like old gym from the 80s, and how they throw punches where like their shoulders are relaxed and then the whole arm is just kind of loose, and then at the end of the punch it stiffens up all of a sudden. It's like this weird Soviet technique that some of these Soviet fighters use, and I think Kavaliev's got that, where like it doesn't look very powerful, but just the way they throw their punches, their technique is
How do they do it?
It's really hard to describe. You have to watch this video. I'm gonna try to post it in the comments after the show post. But there's like their shoulders are completely relaxed, and like their elbow it just looks like their arms are made out of rubber or something. And then when they make impact, their arms just go like stiff all of a sudden. But they're really relaxed, like very fluid. It looks almost sloppy. It's really weird. I've never seen any other fighters punch like these Soviet guys.
Sounds like some Bruce Lee shit. That's what it sounds like to me.
It's really weird.
Well, hold on. Isn't that how you?
It looks sloppy as fuck.
Isn't that how you're supposed to punch in the first place? You're supposed to be slack and then
you gotta see this video, man. I'm gonna try to find it.
I'm looking for it right now.
Old Russian video.
I think Fedor Emelianenko punches like that too sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, he looked like he was. Fedor looked like when he was winging shots, they looked like slaps, but evidently they weren't. I mean, he was really putting in some. He had some mustard on those shots. Trying to look for the video.
He
Maybe
curves
if I
his
write-
shots at the end. What he does is he like he bends his elbow, and then it looks like he's throwing a slap, but it's actually a heavy shot that he's putting all his body into it, pretty much.
I think it gets the power from your chest muscles, and that converts goes from your chest into your fist. So like, I think it's called elastic recoil or something like that.
Elastic recoil.
Yeah,
I just found it.
Old school boxing in the USSR. Let me see if I can. Do you think we can watch it? No, I don't think we can.
Oh, dude, there's no problem with this. An old ass video.
I think
you won't have a problem.
But just post it in the comments just to be sure.
Well, yeah, I'll put the link in the comments here.
Well, actually, post it in the Hangout.
Just
not copywritten, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's not copywritten, so you don't got to worry about a copyright strike.
Yeah,
Even the people that posted it, they don't own it.
Yeah, just post it on your channel, man.
Well, I'll post the link in the on the channel.
And in the Hangout, just post it in the Hangout so we can watch it.
Oh, you mean on the group Hangout?
Yeah, the little chat.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
I put it right there, and we'll put. Listen, the video. The name of the video is called "Old School Boxing in the USSR." It's got 1 million views, and it starts out with a warm-up routine, and then you see them hitting the pads, or the mitts, I should say. Yeah, you're right. It does
see
look
what I'm
fucking.
talking about?
Yeah, it does look very slow. It almost looks funny, or like somebody saying in the chat room. Looks like it's like a McGregor when he warms up, but it's. Listen, I'm gonna post the link right now on the chat room here, so people can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, Virtuoso says, wait until Putin claims copyright infringement. That's what I'm worried about. But that's the thing. Listen, I'm watching them hitting the mitts and everything, and they're even practicing with their hands down, the upper body movement with the hands down. They're very relaxed. That's the key essentially for power is you have to be loose, you have to throw the punch, and then at the end, that's when you snap it. You don't fucking force your shoulders, you don't stress before you throw it.
That's how you hurt yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's how you hurt yourself. So these Russians, and they're very heavy-handed too. I mean, you got Kovalev, you have Beterbiev. I don't know if maybe it's just two guys, but what's his name also? The guy who beat Jacobs. I always forget his name. I always call him Povetkin.
Pirog.
Pirog, yeah.
Dmitry Pirog.
Yeah, thank you. Dmitry Pirog. He had that build of very loose, very lean, and his punches didn't seem to hurt. You know when he hit Daniel Jacobs with a 1-2 when Jacobs was on the ropes, that punch broke Jacobs' guard and it made his knees buckle. So maybe there's something to this punching technique. Maybe there's something to it.
It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of like throwing hammers almost, where it really looks like your fist is really heavy. I don't know. It's something about the kinetic energy where, like you put a, when you put a bar of soap in a sock and you go after somebody in prison, it's kind of like that.
What?
It reminds me a bit.
He kind of lost me when he said bar of soap. So
yeah, Full Metal. Was it Full Metal Jacket or something? What the fuck?
Roland Nichols, if that's what you prefer.
He did get that from Full Metal Jacket. I totally forgot. It beat up Wilson Fisk when he was asleep.
Yeah, Gomer Pyle. That little fucking. When he's crying afterwards.
He should have lined up and then beat him up.
I can't believe you remember that. What's your name?
That film's the shit, man. That film's the shit.
He said, "I will open your head and crap on your neck," or something like that.
Shit down your neck.
That shit was the funniest.
Precise. Where did you?
Do you suck? You know what? He thought some. You like you can stuff a golf ball through a garden hose.
Yeah. Like only people from where's it? Like Texas are steers and quiz. So which one are you?
People in the chat room.
Birthday to Jesus.
All right, we're going down memory lane with this fucking. Just one real quick.
That movie's based off of some true shit, though, man.
Yeah, it's so
they
funny.
lose their shit, and the next thing you know,
You can get anything you want. Everything. Go ahead, BDA.
that actually happened in my base where a major lost his cool and shut up the whole fucking place. Like,
what?
So you swear?
I'm not joking. But
Was that supposed to be some kind of sick joke?
And he was not around my area. He was like more on the western side of the base.
Holy shit!
He lost. Oh, I was in field training at the time, and we heard that this fool lost his fucking cool because they were calling him a Muslim.
All right, please, hold on. Please don't tell me you're swearing in front of your grandmother.
No, I'm out of.
All right.
I'm out of that area.
All right, perfect.
Yes, I am not playing. Pretty much, that's what happened.
Jeez, you think he was brainwashed or something? Like some of that military brainwashing special ops thing where it went wrong?
He been watching Black Ops too much. You think he's Reznikov or something?
No, he just lost his mind because they were picking on him too much, and then the next thing you know, he picks up an M4. And it was all over the news, man. Obama went there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, after it happened, right?
Yeah,
after it happens, he shows up.
If I were see Obama, but a couple of our guys went and actually stood there for some kind of ceremony shit.
All right, first of all, you motherfuckers with your full metal jacket, and you made me forget the question I was going to ask Precise, which it's an important question.
Happy birthday.
He talked about shut up. He said,
stop.
Hold on, Precise. You said you've seen people throwing socks with soap on. Now, come on, that's all. The only person who would say that is somebody who's actually seen it. In real life, because you don't see that shit in the
They
movies.
beat up Wilson Fisk with some sops and some soap.
So my question,
man, I can't
I've seen
believe.
that. I've seen that too. I've seen the soap thing.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
During night, they picked on some guy that was acting a fool.
Yeah, he basically ruined it for the whole team.
Yeah, and I wasn't part. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna do that to that kid." I felt sorry for him. So at night, they pretty much there's a bunk bed. They stretched out the bedspread, and the next thing you know, they pummeled him with the fucking
you remember
soap and socks and all over. Man, he came out all bruised up and shit. They didn't attack his face; they did his body. So when the drill sergeant comes out, they're like, "What happened to his face?" There's nothing on his face; it's just his body all bruised up.
So what did the guy do exactly? Come on, we need some more details.
He was just they call this.
Don't tell her, bro.
Yeah, okay, I won't.
Don't tell her.
Wait! Hold on a second. We need to know because if somebody out there, young people want to go into the army, they need to know how to be team players and put on, put in work and not slack off. Otherwise, you're gonna get soaped.
What kind of lesson is that?
It's a very important lesson. Boxing style.
It's like if you don't follow the status quo, if you doing your own shit, you ain't listening, or I guess. You just don't. You don't fit the program. It's another way of saying.
And I gotta ask you, Boxing Style. I gotta ask you, why the fuck did you join the army in the first place?
I joined because I was like, man, this is boring. School is boring. Let me just go and fucking join.
Let me go kill a couple of jihadis, right?
Pretty much.
You wanted to kill a couple of hajis. Is that what you're saying?
That's pretty much what I was.
I see. And now we dropped Precise, and I didn't even get to ask him the question about the fucking sock with the soap on the sock. So if he comes back, I'll ask him. But listen, apology, man. You're not gonna join the army, are you?
Nah, that's boring, man.
That's boring.
Yeah,
he said that's boring. All right, listen, I don't want to talk to you, man. All right, Precise is back. Hold on. I need to get this question out. It's a serious question. I'm not. How the fuck did you ever see? Did you see that like in the streets or something? Is that something people in your neighborhood used to do? The soap on the sock.
I just figured you guys would know the reference from the movie, but like, you know what a Roman slingshot is, where you have like a strap of leather and you put a rock in the middle and you just sling it. Basically, it's just a.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just the same mechanics, I guess, if you will, where the arm is all loose and limp, and then you got the bullet, the fist.
The David and Goliath.
That's right, King David.
Exactly.
King David. And
what I about to say, but yeah, I love Full Metal Jacket. That movie is hilarious, man.
Well, it's not supposed to be.
That dude was like, good for you, PT. I love that movie, man. That movie was awesome.
That movie gave me nightmares.
Yeah.
I saw it when I was a kid, so.
Talking about the war parts. Have you ever seen Hacksaw Ridge with Vince Vaughn?
Yeah. Mel Gibson.
It's not old. It came out like 3 years ago. It came out like 2015 or 2016.
That's right. Directed by the genius Mel Gibson.
The racist. But
I said the genius, not the racist. What's the matter with you?
He's still racist. But
you think he's a racist?
You didn't know he was racist?
Based off what?
He's not racist.
Yeah,
he's crazy, but he's not racist.
Not.
He's Hulk Hogan like racist.
He's not. What does that mean? Racist either. Like, come on.
How is that not racist? He was caught like on video calling people like racial slurs.
Which slurs?
That doesn't make you racist. That's
Who's racist?
He was just trying to. He was just telling his daughter the truth. Man, what are you talking about?
He was just telling his daughter the truth. Really?
Yeah, he was.
So we just gonna scoop past all this stuff about how he just didn't like black people in that recording, and just like
he didn't like. It's not that he doesn't like black people. He just doesn't want his daughter like going out with thugs.
Yeah, that's all it was.
You guys are talking about Hulk Hogan?
No, Mel Gibson told his daughter not to hang out with niggas, right? That's basically
all right. What's with the fucking? All right, so that's two. That's two people using the N-word in this fucking podcast. And let me tell you something. I got a serious question. When did the N-word, that's what I call it, I don't say it. When did the N-word start becoming a bad term? When did it become a bad term? That's my question. Like, what historical point did it become a toxic word?
When the lefties took over the government.
Listen, when single mothers came to be normalized.
Wow. It's always been offensive in the term that was used. It just got more tolerable when NWA came out. So I feel like you guys already know this, but you just want to ask the question anyway. So
I'm serious. I'm not an American. I don't know.
It's not. It wasn't.
Because listen, hold on.
It's used as a derogatory term. You know, if you look at 1950s. They used to say it. They say it just to say like black people are ignorant.
You know the way I look at it is this way, bro. It's the same thing as calling a white person cracker. But the thing is, I mean, it shouldn't be to the point where you can't say it at all. I mean, sometimes when you're pissed, it doesn't matter if it's a black person, a white person. You could use that word, but it's got to a point where you can't use it at all. Which I kind of find it hilarious. I mean, if I'm pissed and I want to use it, and it just comes out of me. You're in deep shit now, bro. You used the word. You fucked. You done. You know.
Nah, it's not even like that, bro. You mean, in my opinion, I try not to use it. It's just sometimes I subconsciously use it, and I'll
use it.
Stuff like that. But the thing is, like, if I'm in a racial debate with somebody, of course, maybe sometimes I'll use it. If I'm just mad at the person, I just want them to get upset about it. But nah, it ain't. You got if you don't know BDA, it's just a term that's used now by both corners, just because it became tolerable during the time, like with NWA. All right. So if you're talking about as far as a racial slur, it is. So,
but here's my thing. Here's my thing. Hold on. Here's my thing. Hold on a second. Here's the thing, because I got a solution to this. Shit, people dropped off again. I'll wait for them to come back. because I have a solution to this. Listen, the reason why I ask when did it become a pejorative term, is because I'm pretty sure it wasn't always a pejorative term, and I'm waiting for everybody to come back because it's a very good idea. A very good idea. By the way, Virtuoso says, BDA, I'm aware that you have hate speech laws in Canada. I appreciate your virtue signaling. Listen, this has nothing to do with virtue signaling. Here's my thing. If you want, back in the NWA days, like Battle Rifle said, they were trying to take the word back. But it didn't work because the black community did not fully commit to it. Now, here's my thing. I'm pretty sure there was at some point the N-word was not a pejorative term. So here's what you need to do in the black community. You need to take the word and rewrite history. I don't know if you've been seeing in universities, they're taking down statues of the people that funded the universities and that because they were racist. So the black people, they need to do the same thing. They need to rewrite history. What you need to do is remember that white people, they took slaves, right? But that's because they couldn't do the work that the slaves did. White people were physically inferior to the white people, to the black people. So they took... Hold on a second. Here's my thing. They took the black people, and the black people created the United States. And so the white people created a special word for black people as a way of thanking them and saying, listen, you guys are special. And that's the word. So that's why you need to rewrite it.
I love BDA so much. He's so funny.
BDA was just on that bong before he said that speech.
Oh, see, I'm offering a solution. And you call me a fucking drug addict. See, that's why America is the way it is, because nobody wants to listen.
I agree.
I mean, there's a difference between hitting the bong and being a drug addict, man. You can be the most, clean dude and hit the bong, man.
Look, the way I see it is this: if you can't say that, you can't say nigga, you can't say crack. If you can't say nigga, you might as well not say cracker. You might as well not say couch monkey or whatever they shit. Anything like any fucking. You might as well not say any one of those shit. If you're not gonna be able to say one word, you might as well not say the other ones at all on public.
That's a good point.
That's the thing. There's double standards over here. You say one word, but you can't. Then you see somebody saying cracker on television. You can't say that shit if you can't say the other one. How you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make. It's fucking stupid. Like I see it, double standards over there. That's fucking dumb to me. No racism attached to that shit.
Well, let me tell you this. I stick to the old adage of sticks and stones may break my bones, but you know what they say about words, right? I think that's the way it is. You give the word the power. If you react every time somebody says a word, if you react negatively and make a big deal out of it, you're giving the word power. But if you do what I just told you, you take that power away. But then again, nobody listens to BDA, so who gives a fuck, right?
No, that makes sense. Because if you look at... if you look at... It makes sense, actually.
But the BDA, didn't you call...
Hold on.
Blah, 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 blah. You can't be just talking over people all the time, man.
All right,
yes, we can, Carnival.
No, come on.
Anyway, as I was saying, it makes perfect sense what you said, BDA, because if you look at the etymology...
Is that a deer in your profile pic?
Ah, Jesus. Battle Rifle, come on, man. We're trying to have a conversation here.
Yeah, stop being a nigga, man. Come on. When you look at... Can you mute your mic for a second? Go play some video games.
The True Carnival came out.
Go play some video games.
The True Carnival came out.
Anyway, when you look at the etymology, it just means black, right? And over time, people using it and people get offended by it.
I just got called a slur by a deer.
Are you high? Are you drunk, Paul?
Are you wheezing over there?
Yeah, you sound drunk, man.
Dude, you're really rude, man. Like, anytime I try to speak, you interrupt me. It's fine if you do it once or twice, but, like, it gets to a point where...
Go ahead, Bambi.
All right, am I going to have to mute people, man? Come on, we're trying to have a conversation. We're trying to find a solution to the racial divide in the United States.
But this is exactly what Mel Gibson meant, and this is exactly what black people mean when they use the word. Yeah. They're talking about uncouth, uneducated, rude black people. That's what we're talking about when we use the word. It doesn't mean all black people. It just means people who just don't have any fucking class. That's what that means. But anyway, the word itself, it just means
let
black.
this deer teach you about the ways of the world.
All right, now see, that's
please, come on, man.
Jesus,
I don't
how
see.
small is your dick, dude? How tiny is your penis? Why are you so insecure?
You know what happened?
Just let me finish, and then you can yap all you want. This is what you do anyway.
I'm taking your antlers away when you're done. All right, go ahead.
I like how. Oh fuck! People dropped off again. Listen,
let's go.
We're trying to have a conversation here, and here's what happened. I brought up a solution, but people don't want the solution because if you offer a solution and then you get rid of the problem, all of a sudden you can't play the victim anymore. I think that's what's going on here because it's a very good solution and people don't want to hear it. And I think it's a shame.
The only time I use those words, is if any race, whether it's Hispanic or black or white, is one person from that race is pissing me off to a point where, like, you're crossing the line, then I'll fucking use the word. But otherwise, I don't use words like that for no reason. I mean, come on, man. For no reason.
You seen that deer just called me out, and I was like, dang, what did I do?
Like, the best way to piss another guy off that's pissing you off is attack his race a little bit.
It's not what they call you; it's what you answer to, right?
That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
Okay, dear.
All right. See, now that's what I want to ask Battle Rifle. Battle Rifle, what exactly got to you about what Precise said? Because obviously you're not using arguments anymore. You're just trying to, piss him off. What happened here?
No, I'm Gucci, bro. I'm good, BDA.
Are you sure? Because you keep bringing up
I'm just having a good time.
All right. Well, listen. Here's my thing. You can see that, like I said, keep this in mind, everybody. Words. You can fucking give the power to the word or you can take it away. It's your choice. All right? And I just want to remind people what Jesus...
But real deal, he was talking about this is what Mel Gibson meant, and I was like, oh, here we go.
So what do you think?
This is the problem with you, bro. You have a very strong opinion. You have a very strong opinion about everything, but as soon as somebody says something that you disagree with, you don't let them speak because you're goddamn insecure. Let somebody express their opinion, and then you can disagree. First, but this is what I'm saying.
What's up?
No. I just want to say, look, when we disagree on something, don't I always let you speak and say, hey, don't you? Yeah, you have your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
wait a minute.
You took kind of long, but
there was a lot of hesitation in that answer.
You do interrupt a lot, though. Like, I mean, I'm cool with it, but it's not. I'm all right.
That's because you interrupt a lot too.
Exactly.
So you're cool with it, but like it's okay to be interrupted here and there, but like every single time when you're trying to make a point,
bro,
you can't even say. See what I mean? See what I mean?
Listen.
No, you listen. This is the problem. You need to listen.
Before you put this out there.
Don't tell me to listen. I'm not interested in what you have to say. I want to say what I want to say.
But what you have to understand is...
I don't have to understand anything.
All right. So what you're saying is... Oh, he left.
Well, you go ahead and say. I think you probably hear it afterwards.
Yeah, go ahead. If you call,
I don't know. I was just trolling him. But it was pretty funny.
He's coming back. He's coming back. But listen, the thing is
I think with Mel Gibson's case, you could call him a bit of a racist. But the thing is, with these all different types of nationalities and different races, they do tend to want to stick to their own. Like Asians would like to stick to their own. White people like to stick to their own. They don't like
we know that. Listen, here's the thing.
Say that it doesn't really quite make them racist, but you could probably say that.
All right, listen.
That's the tribalism. Like, that's how human beings used to work. Like, they had their tribes, and then they fought against each other, and they stayed within each other and passed on their genes. That's
number
how
one.
it was.
Number one, apologies, right? That's the way it used to work in smaller tribes, but now that we're in big cities, we are all mixed up, and we got to live together. But here's the thing. You motherfuckers dragged me into another fucking race conversation, and you guys know I hate that.
Bro, you brought that shit up. What are you talking about? You brought
No. It's always the black guy getting all butthurt and bringing the fucking race into it.
Look
it's
at
like anytime we talk, whether it's trap boxing or it's low place, it always has to come up. It's always about
Hey, dear, do you make the fortune cookie? Do you make the fortune?
It's so boring. It's so corny. It's so lame, man. It's like, dude, you are more than your skin color.
I never seen a deer make fortune cooking paper.
All right. Hold on. Please don't make me mute anybody's mic because we do have the ability to do that now. Bucho's in the house, the voice of reason. Bucho, set everybody straight here.
I just want to hear what Precise has to say, though. I've been waiting for him to fucking speak, but
let's cut up his beer and make me some jerk.
All right, can we just hear Precise for like?
Yeah, let's go, man.
Seriously, I want to hear it. I'm intrigued now because
everybody, shut the fuck up and let's give 30 seconds at least. Come on, I know you guys can do that. 30 seconds.
I don't know, man. I don't think so. All right, go.
Well, let's see.
I'm basically done with all that, man. It's boring as fuck. It's corny as shit. The words, like I was just saying, like BDA said, words only have power if you give them that power. You know what I mean? Like the thing I never.
The deer is breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up. The Precise.
Understood is why he sends to me, but whatever. Tyson Fury's gonna win. Manny Pacquiao's gonna beat the other black guy, and you guys have a great night. Thank you very much.
Oh man, he left.
Somebody go get their big red truck and run over this deer on the highway, bro.
All right, so there you have Precise left with a bang. And let me tell you something. You motherfuckers with your race, you love race, don't you? I think we ought to have an episode where it's just race. Because you motherfuckers love this shit. You feed off of it.
Carnival on a whole other level, man. He put ketchup, pepper, and salt on his crackers and eat that junk, bro.
Well, you kept fucking interrupting.
I think what race does is give life a little more entertainment. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Well,
I love it. It's
I mean, I don't really catch on this.
What team are you on? I'm from the black side. No, what team are you on the white side? And what team are you on from the brown side? You know what I mean? Like it's great. It's awesome.
And that's what you're gonna get.
What?
That's what you're gonna get with this Tyson Fury Wilder fight because it's another white guy against another black guy, and you got both guys just dividing, and there's a bunch of people rooting based on race, and it makes me sick. It makes me sick because as a transracial man, I can choose whatever race I want to be, and I can't really pick one specific. So
I'm gonna start calling that dude Carnival Mozzarella, bro. Just say
Carnival Mozzarella.
I didn't get that joke, but all right, people, listen. Fights. Okay, the Fight Scout says battle rifle's gonna get kicked off the show. Yeah, that's one thing we don't. I mean, listen, we say whatever you want, but don't fucking interrupt, man. That's the one thing. You gotta have a decorum here, and unfortunately, that's one of the things we don't accept here: interruptions. That being said, I don't know what Boxing Style is still doing here, but let's try not to interrupt you.
It's a 5-12. I got another 38 minutes.
Hold on, Apology wants to say. Apology wants to say something.
You guys hear the low place shit that was hilarious the day that I picked on him for him picking on me for being a Triple G fan guy? Did you see this video of him wearing a fucking sweaty with Triple G on it and shit? And then he was talking about crying the fact that Adonis Stevenson would look.
Jeez, I mean, listen, Boxing Style. It's always one thing with this guy. I mean, come on, let's it's nonstop.
Man,
so
let's not talk about it, man. Come on, really.
Apology, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was saying Boxing Style's still here for comic relief. We can never kick him off, man.
Now wait a minute. You're calling him a clown, essentially?
Yeah.
Okay. Bro. Listen.
Do I amuse you like a clown?
Not gonna have that. Not gonna have that. This show got very.
Your closet full of clowns and circus fell, and then Stu got really pissed.
What?
You better apologize right now.
Listen, Battle Raffle, go back and watch the BDA episode. Did GGG dethrone Hopkins? And you know what I'm talking about.
What did he say?
His whole circus fell, and then Stu got really pissed.
What? I was confused there.
I'll link it to you in the chat. Hold on.
What did he say? Like Triple G can beat Bernard Hopkins or something?
I never. Well, yeah, of course I said that. You know.
You said
no. It's not that. It's not that. It's
definitely Bernard Hopkins is good. If you're talking about maybe what's his name, Roy Jones Jr., I'm okay with that.
But Bernard,
Tony, you're talking about Tony, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah, because Tony, yeah, he's elusive and shit like that, but he might be prone for a right hand if it's.
Hold on. Before you answer that, Ralph, that was not the point. The point was the sound he made in the background. And I'll admit to it.
That was me. Acting like the Grinch, bro. Acting like the Grinch. Going in people's houses and shit. You know what I mean?
In their closets, you mean?
Stealing their Christmas.
Yeah,
man, I just feel like tracking Connell's IP address, getting some poop, put that junk in the bag, and just light it on fire on his front doorstep, bro. So he has to kick that junk and get poop on his foot. That's what I want to do.
So obviously he got to you then.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he really got to you, man. No, it seems like it.
Who's this Lionel Barr saying that Triple G wanted to beat B-Hop's title record?
What did I say about interrupting, for Christ? What did I say about interrupting, man?
So we want to hear what Paul Ralph wants to say about Precise. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, he got to me, man.
Talk about your feelings. Talk about your feelings.
He got under my skin, man. You know, like he made me like, you know, man, and you know, I just gonna go to his house and TP it with toilet tissue, man. That's what I want to do, man. Carnival just got under my skin.
You're kind of proving our point there, man. But
yeah,
anyway,
your sound really is like.
But listen.
Wow, but I don't understand what he said, though. That's
Bucho,
what we're trying to find out.
Bucho, the thing is, it's the fucking. It started with Mel Gibson, and I'm telling you, race. You bring up.
That's the thing in the US, man. You just sounds like the LDBC. You know, you just. It's all racial.
Listen, I had
one word.
Look, I gave people the solution.
Honestly,
I gave people the solution, and nobody wants to go ahead with it. I
Listen,
gave
like,
people.
if you can talk with me, of course, like that, I'm not an extremist. I don't really get offended. It's just that the way he said it to like me, and then he just think I'm just supposed to just say something bad about it. I'm not an extremist. I can admit when I'm wrong about stuff. I can admit when other people are wrong about stuff. But as far as like that, I'm not an extremist. I don't have like no big views or something like that. Like if you tell me something, it's either my way. Like you tell me this sky is blue. Nah, bro, this got purple, bro. I don't care what you say. Nah, I'm not like that.
But you were interrupting constantly, though.
I know I was trolling him because he was doing the same thing.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was, bro. Because
no, you were the one who started interrupting. Man, I've been listening to the whole show, so.
No, bro, what he said was, no. I said, listen.
You didn't want to let him speak.
Okay,
so he said, hold on. You're doing it to me, man.
Yeah, I know, but you aren't doing it to me.
No, you don't, man. Just be hold on.
Yeah, okay, Butcher. I mean, I see your angle, bro. I can see it as soon as you came in the show. So I mean, the thing is,
so you keep on talking, man. Okay. You don't get it. Hey, listen.
No,
hey,
I'm
gonna get kicked out, huh?
So what I
get kicked out. See, you keep talking. You're gonna get kicked out.
He said
you don't get it. You don't get it, man. Look,
this all started. This all started. Hold on. This all started.
No, are you gonna get kicked out, man?
All right, hold on a second, please, everybody.
See, BDA, this is the problem with these people.
Hold on a second.
These are fucking retards, man.
Hold
look
on.
at this guy. Look,
please.
He tries to act.
All right, I'm gonna mute everybody here. Come on, I'm gonna mute everybody. I'm gonna mute everybody.
You ain't smart.
All right, hold on a second.
If you were smart, you would shut your mouth.
All right, Bucho, I gotta say. Oh shit! I just muted everybody. Hold on a second. I muted everybody. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but yeah, everybody's muted. Now I'm unmuting everybody else. Guys, we're trying to have a fun show here, and it's all started because of fucking Mel Gibson. So can we agree that we got more in common than we got in differences? And just because we brought up fucking Mel Gibson, hold on, please, Battle Rifle, please let me. Battle Rifle, please let me finish, man. Yeah, Battle Rifle, come on, you gotta let me finish.
Because BDA said so.
You shut your mouth because you're still eating.
Come on, Jesus! All right,
wow. I mean, this guy's a 5-year-old.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna unmute. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna unmute him. And hold on, guys, please let me talk here. All right? Jeez, Luis. I mean, show was going great. Show was going fantastic, and then we hit this fucking bump in the road, and it's all because I never thought Mel Gibson would be the cause of our problems. I always thought he was gonna be the solution and not the problem, but evidently that's not the case. All right? Everybody got a little hot under the collar. A little bit. Everybody, I think everybody was affected a little bit. Let's just leave it alone. All right? Can we do that? Everybody?
I'm an African American, and I felt.
I'm gonna respond the way Rick Ross does. Oh,
the pain.
So I'm gonna do it that way.
Well, as long as you don't respond the way Kramer did when he was doing stand-up.
Wipe the Cheeto Puff stains off your keyboard, bro.
Was that?
Dude.
I didn't hear what he said. What did he say?
Yeah, you have nothing but
I did. Hold on. Everybody stop talking over. Could everybody stop talking over each other? I can't hear what people are saying. What did you say about the rifle? I didn't hear that.
I was just saying, King Butcher, he just trying to talk over people. He's gonna bite his tongue off. You know, he just eat so much, bro. So, you know, that's all. That's all he does, bro. He just interrupts people, bro, and just eat Cheeto Puffs.
All right, again, here's the thing that you get. Battle rifle. Here's the thing you got wrong, man. Obviously, see, when you're trying to insult somebody, that's why we're asking you what got to you, because you don't insult somebody just because you insult them because you're trying to get them the way they got you. So what the fuck happened here? Listen, actually, you know what? I don't care. I don't know if it was the Mel Gibson stuff or the post comments afterwards. So obviously we hit a nerve here with the conversation. And I suggest we just let it go. And I suggest you do the same thing.
yo, I think Beatrice has said something.
I got something to say. Apology.
No
This little bitch called me a clown. I will choke the living shit out of you, bro. Keep that mouth shut.
Who called you a clown?
Listen, fix your background noise or whatever it is, and then come on the show, man.
See how you...
I will choke the living shit out of you.
Can he like control the show? Like, what's going on now?
I don't know what happened. What happened here? I don't
hear me, man.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you, Mucho.
All right, can you mute? BDA, can you mute this fucker, please?
All right.
All right. Yeah. Fuck. I was trying to get a fucking damn warning. This guy.
Because you were muted. Right. You were muted for accidentally.
Okay, well that's why.
BDA, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
All right. BDA, can you mute Battle Rifle, please? He's something like that.
He's muted. What do you want to say?
All right. This guy didn't want to let Precise finish his sentence.
That's true.
Because he knew what was coming. And he knows the truth. All right? There's some ghetto people in every fucking race. With Latinos, with blacks, with whites. And that was what Precise was going to say. I knew what he was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted him to say it. And Battle Rifle didn't want to hear that shit. Oh. So he got very emotional. And didn't want to let anybody else talk.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the whole point, man, that I wanted to hear. But he's very emotional, man. He just keeps interrupting, makes throws in insults that like a 5-year-old would say, and it's getting pretty annoying, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. Listen, I had just finished.
Man.
I had just finished saying that. Hold on a second.
No, hold on.
Let me say something, Bucho. Let me say something. Low place is an exception. Low place is off board. But Battle Rifle is all right, man. He's okay, man. He just he likes to get his point across by.
I understand. Hey, hold on. Okay, yeah.
But he's
not. Battle Rifle is not like the LDBC. Let's be honest. He has a little bit more class. But
you gotta take into consideration. He's 17 years old.
I don't give a shit. The age. That's not an excuse.
I guess so, but. Yeah, that could be an excuse.
All right, so anyways, as I was saying, he didn't want to listen to Carnival. So that's when he started interrupting and, throwing childish insults. That's pretty much it. And he didn't even want to let me finish, which is pretty stupid because I'm one of the hosts and I can kick his ass out, but he's not that smart when it comes to that. That's pretty much it.
All right.
All right. Well, listen. Hey, apologize to each other.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Thanksgiving. That's what I wanted to get to. Thanksgiving, and this turned into what's the opposite of Thanksgiving? Fuck giving? I don't know. That sounds dirty.
What?
all I want to say is, did you hear how Bucho was calling out BDA like he just couldn't hear him at all? God.
Yeah, the thing is.
Hey, man, are you high? Seriously,
yeah, the fake laughter.
The fake laugh is not.
Yeah, the fake laugh is. That's the thing that bothers.
Drink some water, man. I think you're a little too. You had too much.
More than the interruptions. It's
And
the
by the
fake
way,
laughter.
Battle, this is what that time where you have to change your behavior. You know, when we tell you that you're constantly interrupting, the laugh is getting pretty annoying. This is when you show that you're smart.
It's not really.
So you have an
anybody else
opportunity.
but
You have an
It's not
opportunity.
Bucho.
Can't hear what you're saying because I was talking. So, anyways,
Yeah, I
this
know.
is the time.
You talk. So I mean, I know how you work.
No, this is what people accuse you of doing.
Well, hold on. I want to hear this. I want to hear. Hold on. Can I say something? All right, I'm gonna mute people here. Hold on a second. Because this is all right. Hold on a second. Hold on. Battle rifle. Hold on a second. Battle rifle. How does Bucho work?
I don't know, man. You just stop, like.
But see, you're trying. Like that's what I'm saying. You're trying. Listen. Obviously, this is what I'm saying. Something got to you. Can we leave? Can we get past it? That's all I want to know.
Of course, we can get past it. I'm saying. So you see what he's doing right now? Yeah, BDA still hurt as well. I mean, obviously, he said that. I had more class and everything. He was going in the right direction, and he went right back to it. So obviously, he's a little.
No, I still believe you have more class in the LGBC. There, come on. By far.
All right, so you're complimenting each other. That's good.
Oh, I invite him to the show. I mean, I'm the one that sent him the link.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's Bucho's the one that sends the link. So obviously, Battle Rifle. Obviously, he feels like you're good. You're a good contributor, but it's just again, people got emotional, and this is where we ended up. So that's why I'm saying, let's move on. The fuck's the matter with you guys? Let's go.
Somebody poisoned somebody Thanksgiving food tonight.
Let it go, Battle, man.
See, he can't. You talked about. See, that's the thing. Battle Rifle. You can't let it go, man. Battle Rifle. Why can't you let it go? Why can't you let it go?
Earlier, sometimes people are just fishing. That's fishing right there. I'm not saying anything. Just to
you're being passive aggressive, and that's a female. That's a female trait.
Like we was gonna move on, and then he brought it right back.
Exactly. Like that's a guy that can't let it go. That's a female trait right there.
Bow, let me ask you a question. What's your opinion on Joystick Stevenson?
Who?
Vajdik Stevenson.
Joystick Stevenson. Let's move on.
I think Stevenson is going to win, but yeah, it's, like I said, it's just not enough. Not enough proof that he gets out of that rut for getting knocked down. So Stevenson is probably going to be the top light heavyweight until he retires.
Stevenson better hope he doesn't fucking get old overnight, man, because he almost got taken out by Badu Jack. What's that?
Isn't he like 41?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he almost got taken out by Badu Jack, and like Deontay Wilder, oftentimes Stevenson's power is what bails him out. But obviously, Stevenson's a better boxer than Wilder. But 41 years old, Gvozdyk. I think Gvozdyk's hitting his stride. We'll have to see. All right, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. All right, so I'm just trying to look at the fucking fights. The upcoming fights, that is, from ESPN. This weekend, of course, Bivol versus Pascal. Cecilia Braekhus versus Alexander. Female fights. Listen, nothing against women. They gotta make their own way in boxing as well. But no, sorry, that's not this weekend. What am I talking about? Bivol, and then there you got Murodjon Akhmadliev or something like that. Oh, okay. Finally, I think I figured out exactly what's going on here. I think the final HBO fight is going to be on December the 8th. And that's what Bucho had told me before. This is the final HBO fight, by the way, ever. Cecilia Braekhus versus Alexandra Magdiazak Lopez. And Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez against Pedro Guevara. Oh, and then you got Clarissa Shields as well. So that's the final fight for HBO. 30-something years in boxing, and that's the last event. You know what? They might as well not have had an event at all. Just fucking just blank screen. Because I'm sorry, these are shit fights. I don't even know who these women are. Well, maybe they surprise us, right? Maybe they put on a good show. Maybe
wait, is the women's the last fight? Two women?
Yeah, the main event is two women.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, HBO deserves to die, man. Jeez.
Oh. All right. Well, there you go. What else do we... December 1st, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, obviously. So that's in 2 weeks. Oh, and here's the fucking fight nobody's talking about. Jeff Horn, Anthony Mundine, November the 30th on ESPN Plus. That's the fight of the year right there. Obviously, people disagree based on the silence. But I'm telling you, Jeff Horn, Anthony Mundine, that's the fight everybody wanted to see for a long time. Australian
Listen,
Derby.
BDA were emulating the crowd because there won't be a crowd.
Hey, let me tell you something. This is going to be an interesting fight. Australian versus Australian. Don't get it twisted, man. It's going to be a good fight. So those are the fights we got so far. Of course, for December 1st, the big one between Fury and Wilder. I'm trying to step ahead here before we leave because we only have like 2 minutes left. Lomachenko, Pedraza, December 8th. Doug Bowie is going to be on the undercard against Emmanuel Navarrete. That same day in the zone, Kell Brook versus Michael Serafa. All right, then you got that HBO card the same day, the final one. December 14th, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez versus Jesse Hart. From the zone on December 15th, Canelo Alvarez, Tevin Farmer in the undercard as well. Josh Warrington versus Carl Frampton, December 22nd. The same day, Charlo and Willie Monroe on Fox. And then in Japan, they have their usual end of the year fight. So it's going to be a very interesting year, or end of the year rather, last couple of months. So guys, that was another BDA Boxing podcast. Very explosive near the end. It's never a BDA Boxing podcast without a little drama. I just prefer it in the middle when we get the biggest audience as opposed to the end where everybody's gone to sleep. But anyway, Mundine is old as dirt, says Overhand. I see he's shitting on the fight that I just hyped up, which means he's shitting on me, and I don't like it.
He's older. Ortiz or Mundine. Because these guys been around forever, man.
Yeah, Mundine's been around forever. Anyway, listen, guys. I want to thank everybody that was in the Hangout. I want to thank Precise who was here. I want to thank Stu. I want to thank Recognized. I want to thank Battle Rifle. I want to thank Apology. I want to thank Boxing Style. Bucho, who came in late. All right, people in the chat room are saying that PBC lineup is horrific. The PBC matches are pretty weak, says Hawker Mustang. Obviously, people aren't impressed by that. By the way, guys, thanks for joining us. Another BDA Boxing podcast. Don't forget to check out BDA Live for our Fury Wilder videos that we're putting in there. The preview videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care. Oh, hold on a second. Nah. Well, you guys in the Hangout can leave if you want. Again, thanks for your service. Before we leave, I do want to give a thanks to people in the chat room, our listeners. Uncle Burnt Apostrophe, The Shepherd of Sons, Overhand, Virtuoso, The Punisher, Scholar B Major, Overhand, I think I already mentioned him, Parmley. I know Rod T. Davies was here earlier as well. It's been a long time since I had seen him. Lion Bar, Chris Gonzalez, FL88, Backmasker, and many more. Fight Scout, thanks for being on, guys. Hulker Mustang, Nino Gaggi, who was here at the end as well, Galado de la Info. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you in the next one, folks. Take care.